AllReasonNoLogic, hosting King of the Hill lobbies, most Sundays. Join our Discord to be part of the action. See you in game, Commanders. Beyond All Reason fans, welcome to King of the Hill by AllReasonNoLogic. Experience 2 or more teams facing off in epic scale warfare, where the Horde gang up on the Kings of the Hill. Kings start off with an economic bonus. They do their best to defend an onslaught after a no-rush timer expires. Test out your micro and defend against multiple players in variations of this game mode. Or be part of the masses. Team up with your allies to topple the throne in a glorious victory. AllReasonNoLogic, hosting King of the Hill lobbies, most Sundays. Join our Discord to be part of the action. See you in game, Commanders. Beyond All Reason fans, welcome to King of the Hill by AllReasonNoLogic. Experience 2 or more teams facing off in epic scale warfare, where the Horde gang up on the Kings of the Hill. Kings start off with an economic bonus. They do their best to defend an onslaught after a no-rush timer expires. Test out your micro and defend against multiple players in variations of this game mode. Or be part of the masses. Team up with your allies to topple the throne in a glorious victory. AllReasonNoLogic, hosting King of the Hill lobbies, most Sundays. Join our Discord to be part of the action. See you in game, Commanders. Beyond All Reason fans, welcome to King of the Hill by AllReasonNoLogic. Experience 2 or more teams facing off in epic scale warfare, where the Horde gang up on the Kings of the Hill. Kings start off with an economic bonus. They do their best to defend an onslaught after a no-rush timer expires. Test out your micro and defend against multiple players in variations of this game mode. Or be part of the masses. Team up with your allies to topple the throne in a glorious victory. AllReasonNoLogic, hosting King of the Hill lobbies, most Sundays. Join our Discord to be part of the action. See you in game, Commanders.
Oh, this is...
Evening, everyone. Now, would the title say Wacky Wednesday? Definitely is King of the Hill for me. Oh yeah, there you go, Twitch. How do you update the Twitch thing? The Twitch title.
Do it.
Thanks, Prey. Cheers for pointing out Fish House.
So under Stream Manager, if you look at the boxes underneath the actual stream, there'll be a purple one. The first purple one, it says edit stream info.
In the Stream Manager, you have to actually go in the background of Twitch, do you?
So it's just if you're logged into Twitch.
I'm not. That's the problem. I should do that, or are you already in there?
I'm already in there.
All right, you can do it, brother. Thank you.
All right, let's kick this one off if we can.
Just gonna get the last few things. Oh, of course I do that. Gonna paste the rules and the links there to anyone that wants to join the Discord, etc.
Okay, we just need everyone to ready up and we'll be good to go.
For the official.
Wait, we need the...
Nightmare's just asking about the official Nightmare. We hadn't got anything. I posted a couple questions last month about updating the thing, the streaming schedule, and we hadn't seen anything, so we haven't gone live on that official. So what we're doing tonight, people, is a bit of faction wars. We got very dicky settings where I think it'll hopefully assign us to a faction per team. We were testing it out earlier, and the best we could do is you'd get the opposite faction than what was assigned.
I mean,
we think we're going to be armed, but we could be caught.
Yeah, so we're under Cortex at the moment. That means we're getting Armada if it works anything like what Tank Tom and I tested out earlier today. Should be amusing. We got 44 versus 7.
When we set this up, it was 20. Do we have
So
any idea?
I'm looking at my my Beyond All Reason friends list, and every single person that is online is in this game.
Very nice.
Oh, that's a good time. That's a very good time.
Good to go.
Let's kick this one off.
Jalio says, Duffy, on your team, certain win. Statistically, that is pretty accurate. But
however, that being said, the last throne that Duffy played, he did not win.
This is true.
I feel like you guys pay more attention to who's on what team than I do then, because I can't remember at all.
When you're in the casting booth most of the time, you've got to pick out the players to watch and the areas to look at, and you end up saying people's names over and over and over again.
That's always things like Duffy stalling out his eco again and can't get his base together, that sort of stuff. That's right, isn't it?
Pretty much.
No, didn't get the That's gonna suck for the outside for the peasants.
What is?
Team placements on.
Yeah, that was
every week.
It was off, and then the preset got put over the top.
That'll be fine.
They'll work it out.
Yeah.
Just 41 people.
And if they don't,
place one at a time.
If they don't work it out, well.
Tagian says to you, Prey, so there's only one person on your friends list, right?
The joke's on you. There's no one. I have no friends.
It looks like we got these little edges, Prey. I don't like this side. I want to go on the other side. Oh well.
Which other side do you want to go? Oh,
Where
you want to not be on
Endulum,
this?
yeah, I don't want to be on this entrance. This is the entrance that gets so much hate.
Battle started.
That was a...
So we are Cortex. Just checking, is everyone Cortex?
We did it.
Then is everyone around the Edge Armada? Okay,
Ah.
why is it fully visible?
Because
I-
the game started and everyone started in the lava.
Alright, we'll just stop the game. Aye, aye, aye. Who force started?
Did you not know?
It's probably got force started because of the setting. I'm going to update that now. Apologies, everyone.
That's already been done because I jumped out and did that.
Okay. All right, so it looks like the settings worked where it's Armada and Cortex. So shall we keep Cortex as our team? I'm
Yep.
happy to.
Because I don't want to break it.
So after full team is loaded has now been applied.
I'd love to be able to use that make ready command. Once we all load in again.
Please choose your starting.
Take 2, Electric Boogaloo.
Shadow, I hope you know what you're doing up there. 30 OS, you definitely will.
No faith. Twig has no faith in you.
What's the tactic, boys? Same as last week? Do your thing.
I think we just super turtle up until they give up. No units, all defenses, 1,000 pulsars.
Just double checking, Tom, you definitely applied the no tremor, no arbiter, etc.
Yes. That should be the... yeah, that's the twig units that's in there.
Yep.
Sounds like there's lots of IDs.
Oh no, that's not good.
What's the duplicate ID?
Not too bad.
Few people with duplicate IPs. One
It's
person
not that
eco.
many.
One person eco. And
There's
one person,
327s. And that's mostly it. So, baby, Mr. Ghost and Ollie are all stuck on 27. But other than that, that's...
Yeah, it looks like it's a handful, not massive numbers of them. I think it's only those 3 that I can see.
almost an advantage.
Not quite. If you had 3 comms, it'd be an advantage, but it is what it is.
I know you've joined as before Twig, and it's gone from being an advantage to piss off, leave me alone, stop messing with my base.
It depends
We do
who it
something
is.
else.
Depends who it is. I've done it with Prey before, and it's almost like we're related, because the brains work the same way. Other people, definitely different game styles. Tank Tom 25 OS, well done. He's not technically there yet, actually, Tachyon. 14.98. Tune into those Rotor OS 25 episodes that get released every Wednesday. They get good as Tom gets good. Get good.
Don't worry,
boy.
I'm going to play on the team against him for the next one and knock him back down to 20.
Oh, I missed.
I'm going to be the
something.
gatekeeper.
Looking at the chat for Gaddy there, where we kind of run on the assumption that people are watching the stream.
Yeah.
It's not
And I think
uncommon that we'll make some comment in the stream, and then we'll have Cookie
in-game
respond in
chat.
game, or something to that effect.
In case anyone's wondering, at the bottom right of the screen, kind of bottom right, there's now a sub count for the YouTube. We're at 1,977. So if you haven't hit that subscribe button, we need 23 more, and something special will happen when we get to 2,000. I don't know what that is yet.
Sounds ludicrously sus, Twig.
I actually got nothing
Yeah, it
planned.
does.
Low power.
Shall we?
We do have that bonus, don't we?
Yeah.
Yes, we do
Yeah.
have a plus 45%.
You've received new units.
Looks like Shadow's going T2 soonish.
Nice.
Enemy
I know.
commander destroyed.
We need more energy.
Need more metal.
Need more everything.
Enemy commander destroyed. Enemy commander destroyed. Enemy commander destroyed. Enemy commander destroyed.
It's a lot of comms going, pal.
Yeah, that's a
Commander
A
self-destructed.
worrying
that's a
amount.
lot.
Mm-hmm.
Gonna run out of space. I've never. I think once I've started on one of these defensive positions.
Destroyed. Enemy commander destroyed.
Ekion watches those videos every week, Tom. We do appreciate it. If
Nice.
anyone ever wants to provide any feedback on them,
Commander destroyed.
tips, get in there. Tom is used to being absolutely criticized by us like crazy.
We are mean.
You've received new units.
It looks like I'm getting given T2 this time.
Nice.
I'll go with that. Now, where's going to be the best defended? Everyone up here is pretty good. Only one name I don't recognize off the top of my head.
Enemy commander destroyed.
Please.
An allied commander self-destruct.
That was
That was
That
close.
looked
close.
like that was real close.
That was nice and close. My energy converter took a single point of damage.
Nice.
Precision.
What a good play. What a good play right there.
Does anyone else need T2?
Should be alright.
Stop this bad boy then. And that one. That one. That one. Eat. Food. Or let's build them in line.
Low power.
Low
Oh, yeah, those are
power.
good.
Low power.
Why
Is
have you got low
overflowing.
power?
Because I only built 3 advanced. I'll be there soon. I just need to be boosted by someone.
How's that going? Oh no, you need metal, don't you?
Oh, now I need. Yeah, it's alright. I just ran out of metal. That's all.
Cool.
We good. I'll just reclaim one of these and then I'm sorted. In fact, we're all done now.
Good, good.
Use the metal. Can we do that?
Why am I hearing shots?
He's gonna go over there. Somewhere that's not in my base.
Battle paused.
We have someone breaking rules. How many times do we need to say the rules?
Pretty interesting rule break, to be honest. So I don't know how they managed to do that, but that's pretty interesting.
Holy moly, I'm about to be overflowing like crazy.
Battle paused. Battle started. You're overflowing metal.
We happily take donations.
We got a minute and a half left.
Yes.
Interesting,
I need
interesting.
Converters.
What are we doing? We'll
I
do one of
come
those.
down with you, don't I?
Enemy commander
Made a
destroyed.
mistake and tried to do too many things at once.
That is an easy mistake to make.
Correct.
Thirty seconds left. Everyone got defenses.
Yes, we will.
Those are quite far back,
Yes,
Tom.
we are going to have defenses. I've done well. Just.
Lava level is dropping.
Okay, let's do it.
Charge. Oh, I'm gonna go the other way. You got this, Twig.
Holy moly. Good idea.
T2 unit detected.
Can we get through?
Come. Run from the com.
Don't stop moving. Put some pressure on this side.
Fusion. Energy. These. This.
Oh, that's some defenses. All right.
That means pick a different direction. Let's see what we can find.
Losing some fiends to Jags down here, Tom.
Yeah, look, I'm losing fiends to a whole bunch of stuff at the moment.
Enemy commander destroyed.
We're in the top right. The top left, I should say.
Oh, shit.
Converter. No.
Do the damage, do the
Converter's been
damage.
ripped up. We're gonna need something that's a bit chunkier, aren't we?
Ooh, they got quite further than I thought they would.
Hey, Tom, I've already kind of cleared out this path here.
Marker. Yep. I'm on my way. Damn it.
So
Oh, I made it through.
you go through there, and there's a T2 there. Watch out, there is one com though, so get ready to separate it.
Fighting multiple fronts. There's more than one com there.
Yeah,
There is
probably.
it.
That does make sense. There's been some good commie ecos happening there. I don't like that we haven't pushed
It
out
has
yet.
been.
Look, I've tried in a couple of spots.
I like what you've got coming out though.
Yeah, that's kind of what I figured. Pick a direction.
Commander
That
has
is not great.
I think we just need to hold
You-
that, but
You're
can
going to be on your own
definitely-
here in a sec.
yeah. With your mammoths should be all good.
They are shelling right up to the base here.
They're doing a lot of spam.
Yeah, Twig, this is yours because I'm not looking that direction.
Nice.
Do we have anything that's kind of going to be up around the T3 range? Oh shit, they're shelling into my base.
Yeah, do something about that, don't we?
Yeah, we do. I can't deal with it because I haven't got the stuff up already.
Oh yeah. Shit.
T3 unit detected.
Yeah, that's what that's going to be. Can I have metal?
In a second. Oh, it's Fish House Mike. You have become a target. You have become a target.
I can't get to those. Oh god, that's
Oh
horrible.
no. Oh no. That was not good.
It's deformed the ground, so I can't build there.
Repair the ground.
Yeah.
Too much going on below your base, Tom.
Sure. You're looking after that, not me.
I'm trying to get out of our bases.
We need a spam line.
That is exactly what we need. Starlight's coming. Don't like starlights.
They can only shoot when they get close though, so that's better than other things.
Destroyed.
Oh, I'm getting swarmed. Too many fronts. We just need
What do
way
you mean?
more
You're going in the
spam.
same direction to your stuff.
I've got the one below your base. I was trying to push on another side, but it's been not killed, but hurt. Nice.
That's the sound we like to hear. These are too slow, so I need something like that. And these. I'm just losing stuff out here.
What I need is an APHIS.
Now, where is my other bad boy? What can you all the wind because that's not needed no more. That is a lot of stuff up there that I don't want to deal with.
There you going over there, Prey?
Not bad. I'm just supporting Cookie.
Overflowing, that's not good. Need to get a bastion out of the base to oh, not good.
Can you get to here, Twig?
Hang on, I'm busy.
I can't.
I'm busy. If there's a advanced geo here, yes there is. That's going to go pop. Yes it is. Hell yeah.
We got to deal with this up here. Because I can only hold off so much.
Where can I fit a experimental gantry? The answer is nowhere. Building one in your base.
I need assistance out the back of this.
Yeah, I'm getting there. That's Fisher's commander.
Destroyed.
They're systematically taking out the back of my base.
Commander destroyed.
Huh, shell shockers are on for your stuff that you had in that mix of stuff.
Sorry about the jumping in and out, people. The pressure's on.
Stealthy units detected. New overflowing metal.
Keep those waypoints outside of our base, Tom.
If I waypoint stuff, it's dying on the way out at the moment. And I am running out of space to protect the back of my base.
Why don't you build some artillery at the back of your base? Oh, north is falling. Okay. Let's do this. Try and clear
I'm
this out.
busy trying to build the stuff to stop the things coming in first, before I try and deal with shooting back.
I really want to hit down.
I would love to go hitting places, but keeping the base alive
I'm not talking to you.
first.
Definitely not talking to you. I
is
know where
the,
you're. You're on the defense at the north.
Yeah, we I don't necessarily. Oh yeah, just that's your units coming up through here, isn't it?
Commander destroyed.
They are getting scarily close at the moment.
Yeah, that's a problem.
Yeah, it is.
Oh no.
Everyone needs shields.
That was my metal income. All gone.
Destroyed.
Where is my T2 constructor? I think he just died. I think I got another one somewhere. Gonna have to turn my lab offline for a bit.
Commander destroyed.
Where I just built a T2 con. Am I blind? Probably.
Am I still doing? No, not those. Not those. Not these.
Oh, I got Razorbacks on my doorstep. Awesome. Awesome. Why aren't my stuff building? God damn it.
Commander destroyed.
No one's building shields.
I do. I have lots of shields, but I don't have the build power elsewhere
I
to
don't have the metal
get
to
them
build
up.
shields.
Make some.
Shadow is definitely
Thanks,
going to filter
Steve.
shields if he doesn't get them up soon.
Oh wait, we don't need to kill their stuff. We just need to be near it when we die. We get shelled in their base, they die just as good.
Right.
My metal income is wrecked.
Okay, there's just not nice places to build stuff.
I think Shadow is AFK from the messages.
That is not great. I can't get out. I tried to build some, and there's a not many places that you can get stuff. Is part of the issue.
Mm.
These spiders that are crawling around the back of my base are going to come up somewhere else at some point.
Yeah, it's alright. I've got spiders here. Unfortunately, they can't get out of the base because you got your walls.
Yeah, that's why I'm mostly safe, and the spiders are going to come through somewhere else.
Don't like how little we're pushing out.
Yeah.
Shadow is going to lose this for us.
Yeah, we need shields because you can't hold them back far enough to
He's just
stop
not going
this.
to build shields.
I'd love to be able to get units out far enough that we don't need them, but that ain't happening
I just cannot get
anytime soon.
conversion built. These spots are too small. So let's try and kill these comms.
I'm coming, Cookie. Let me know where you want me to send stuff. Oh, that's... Are they as? Yes. They're on their way.
Destroyed.
Now, where's a constructor boy? You. Gonna build me more build power. Who needs the metal?
Destroyed.
I'd love to fill in this lava hole that we have over here.
Stealth units detected.
Am I back online with Eco? Not quite.
I'm overflying, so I'm just struggling to get enough build power in the right spots to keep everything running.
That was a bad micro in me. Damn it. Fighting in the base. Have we got any comms in the area?
Behemoth in the
Kind of.
area. Is Shadow here?
I don't know.
He's down south defending.
Ah, yeah.
We're getting pushed pretty hard on the south by T3. I mean, everywhere's being pushed pretty hard. I'm just going to ask that comm permanently. Do us a favour.
They can get stuff up here, can they? Yeah, I can't hold this side.
Interesting. I need more space in my base.
Yeah, we basically have to push out to get it, but we are not getting out. Is the problem? What's going on?
And where did I put all those thermites? Over there. Pulsars are really doing work for the Armada guys.
Wasting energy.
And these pulses, I just can't get past them. So many. Need to clean up this base. Pretty much anything but the Beheads are surviving against the pulsars, I'm finding. And what we're not doing is catapults. And I'll get onto the catapults.
I have them built.
Demons have lost any or both.
Yeah, pretty much. The shelling is starting again. Needs more shields.
Where do we want to try and push? Maybe over there.
Can you get out the back of my base?
I mean, I've been so focused there and we're getting nowhere. Maybe you
It's
can
more
just...
that I can feel the
Why don't
range
you put some...
starting.
Yeah, why don't you put some catapults there and manual fire them? You can pretty much guess where they're going to hit from. And your catapults you're building have just instantly died.
I'm being pushed pretty hard on this side.
I can't get catapults out there at the moment.
Yeah, Tom. Put catapults
Yeah,
there.
I don't have. I can't.
You can't
I've got
physically.
too much. Yeah, I can't physically get them there because of my base. And I kind of want the build power because I'm not spending enough as it is anyway.
Yeah, you need spam lines, which you don't have the room for either.
I've got a spam line, but it's not getting to the back of my base.
With Vortex, remember you can string together your horns. Fronts, I mean.
Does anyone need metal?
No, I don't need metal. I need more units. I need stuff to be able to get to places.
I think I just killed like 100,000 metal in front of my base.
Bottom is struggling because Shadow just died to the...
Yep. Oh, the big push up on Small's getting hit hard by spiders right now.
I am scared.
Not looking good for us.
Oh, I do not want that in there. Get out.
Come on, build.
There is you. Build me stuff.
Green, why aren't you building? Oh great, I got catching up on my screen.
There's a lot going on right now, but we just are not
I got Titans in my
getting
base just
the
about. I
ability
did
to-
not see. Where's my commander?
I have not been able to get out of my base this entire game.
I don't think catapults are the play anymore.
I just need something that I can get out, but nothing can get out, and I can't get to defending my back is my problem. And that's what I need to be able to do.
I've lost my spam almost. Well, I've lost half of it. Maybe get your comm
I
down this
think
way.
this is gonna. No, my comp's staying where he is.
This is end of
I
game
need-
for us on this end. I've got about 6 Titans down here. My comm will die
I'm
to this lot.
expecting. Oh, I'm not going to get him
I'm
there. in
sending
time
mine
anyway.
to try and close up the gap.
I'm concerned that when they break this line up here, they're going to send everything.
That's my comm. There's nothing in between me and Shadow now.
Trying to get there.
That's us dead.
Ooh, that's gonna be a problem.
That was a rough game.
That was good. That was very well played by the peasants.
There you go. Duffy can lose.
Oost.
Ooh.
Oost.
Ooh.
GG.
Yeah, that's.
It's interesting because 3 fronts fell kind of at the same time.
It's because
I'm
it's over
still
half an hour.
here-ish.
That doesn't let your team resign.
That's right. Oh no, we've still got 3 comms. I thought I might have the last.
Don't have any build power left.
GG. G'day Leo and g'day Black Death. I see you guys in the chat. Unfortunately, not the heroes this time round. We have the Kings have fallen.
Oh man, small quit without self-doing. There we go. You can self-do it, Tom. Nice. Armada victorious.
There's so many fangirls that entire game.
I actually think that the ticks made a pretty big difference.
Battle ended.
Wow, helicopter did really well.
Like, yes, I can see what happened in the graphs. Red things did red stuff, and I can't tell which red is red.
Yikes, yeah, that damage dealt. One of those blue players did so well with damage dealt. It must have been
That's right.
helicopter. Very
Oh,
nice.
there's Jalio up in this corner that has. What's that? 16 APHIS. Jeez.
Got 1 subscriber on the YouTube. 22 to go. All right, I think we're all jumping in peasants now.
Can do that.
Okie dokie.
This is big enough that we're up to Raptor now, isn't it?
Sure, we can go straight to Raptors.
The 100 bull push Uzi. I saw that coming across and I was like, oh, it's just spam. And then it started to show out of the vision of war, and I'm like, oh, those are bulls. I really hope I hold. This would be really bad if I didn't hold. Thankfully, the catapults, just the AoE of the catapult just did so much damage into that. And then because the front line fell, the wreckages meant that it just slowed down a lot. And with it slowing down a lot, the more catapult shots hit, the mammoths held the line. Even the Sheldons did a bit. But man, I was like, that could be a problem. That could be a massive problem.
All right, let's get. Have we got a locked kit? Oh yeah, it's locked.
Yeah. Can I leave?
All right, there we go.
There we go. Now I should be able to rotate.
Let's all jump up to team 1, and we'll put a 50 something bonus on these guys that jump down there, just so that we can earmark them.
Ooh. Is this real slow for anyone else at the moment?
Would be because we just changed the map and settings.
What do we got? It's going to be 50s, isn't it?
I accidentally.
Oops.
Yeah,
Sorry.
Raptors will just do 50 for now. 5 more than what we had on that one. There are a few more. We can bump it up if there's too much OS as peasants. We'll see. Four more kings, please. I'll remove the bonuses from everyone that got moved up. Especially you, Praedyth.
Unfortunate. It's very unfortunate that you saw that.
You can just see everyone feed their eco to you so you can overflow back to the rest of the team.
Yes, and I'll overflow it back to everybody in equal portions.
IDs are looking good, so we should be ready to go from that perspective. Ooh, 68. That's going to be higher bonuses for the middle, isn't it?
68. Yeah, we'll bump it up once we get their kings. I mean, maybe that'll get them down there if you bump it up now.
Oh, from the top. 55s or 60s, do you reckon?
Let's see who the last two are. If you get the likes of Amir down there, I'd be saying, drop it.
No, I've been in there with this. You need something.
Yeah, we'll definitely do at least another 5. Two more. Okay. Oh, one more. Thought we hit it. One more king.
Bonuses in there, and we'll look at getting going in a sec.
Chronographer asked if it's going to be a 24-hour stream. It'll be a
No.
6-hour stream or 5-hour stream followed by dreams. Plenty of dreams. Thanks for following Scimitar. Had a few good games with Scimitar last night, actually, against the German clans. We won them all. All right, we got 9. Let's lock that team. Nice, healthy 60 bonus. Do they need more? What do we got in peasants? We got 80. I think they need 65s.
With 80, that's gonna be a tough call.
Yeah, let's go
for
65. I'm going to start at the
Yeah.
bottom, Tom.
I'll start at the top. Ray, do you want to grab that bonus that's still somewhere?
Yes.
I swear they must have jumped in spec and then jumped back across. That's a really sneaky way of doing it, actually. You're a dick.
I fixed it, don't worry.
All right. Okay, Scimitar writes, he's coming for me. You're on the same team as me, bro.
We've been dethroned, therefore we must play as peasants. But we will rise up and take the throne again.
Got to prove ourselves. I will post the rules, but they're all pretty basic for this one. It's just no offensive structures is the main one.
Let me change the welcome message.
Oh, good idea.
Yes.
I mean, rule 1, no rush time of 10 minutes. It's there. The lava defines it. Rule 2, no offensive structures. So don't go Junoing the enemy's bases. Rule 3, honestly, if you breach this one without default, you're just not worthy anyway. It's spawn on the outside of your peasant. If you're spawning on the inside,
it will go badly if you end up somewhere else.
Let's get this one started. Shout out to Nightmare Flow sitting in there as the moderators for this game.
Just double checking. It looks like the ID issue is mostly resolved. The 27s are no longer all 27s. The list seems to have reset. I'm just checking through it now. I'm not seeing any glaring problems at the moment.
Cool. I'm hoping that the tweak units has been changed back to be anything goes.
All right. Yeah, that looks good to me.
Nice. Good work, team.
And while we're loading in, just have a quick check of in the message group.
What am I checking? Sorry, my mate.
The Facebook Messenger group.
No worries.
Oh, we locked Legion. Did not realize. Looking forward. All right. Did we want to grab a co-op corner together?
Yeah, all right. Let's take the bottom right. Oh, there's a lot of things there. I don't know where to go. Everyone's... Yeah, it's going to be ARNL down in the bottom right.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, shit.
All right, so the
Starting location.
We can.
so
Where are
Tank
you,
Tom, you
Tom?
and I, let's.
I went to get some X's, so I'm gonna send some stuff back.
Don't know how that works. I think you got a role to play there, mister. I've got a feeling that these aren't going to get shared to us.
I don't think they are.
Why don't you start there, Prey, so you at least get that one?
I'm gonna be entirely honest. That was why I came out here.
I don't think this co-op corner is going to work out very well, but we'll do our best.
Yikes, yeah, 80 people. It's almost too many.
80 people is too many. We need to cap the lobbies at 60 peasants.
Yeah, it's gonna be
No
rough for the
question.
inside.
No question about that.
Yeah. Lobbies probably need to be maxed out. It makes for a better game as well, I think. Just with like the lag.
And it gives us half a chance to try and balance it too.
Yeah.
Because you would have felt in that last one, we hit 10 minutes, we had some units, we tried to get out, we got nowhere.
Mm.
And then we basically were retreating from that point on. We got a couple of pushes out,
We've
but
had a king quit. We'll give him a sec to see whether he rejoins, but he's gone from the lobby as well, so he may not. We might need to grab another king.
I'm tempted to leave this corner, Prey, and go help out Duffy.
Yeah, I'm actually I'm okay with doing that. Because that corner I don't think is gonna be overly successful at the moment.
I am guessing that I'm gonna
But looking at
this line
what's
and send
happening
some
in the
stuff
lobby,
across.
it's going to be a remake anyway, because there is only 8 kings.
Do we call it now to stop and get
Yeah.
another one in?
Nightmare,
Yeah.
just stop it if we don't have the king, rather than wait for them to potentially come back. And we'll just get it quickly started as fast as possible again afterwards.
Battle ended.
Was that someone that left, or
Yeah, someone left the king's team.
just two left by the looks?
Hmm.
All right. I think we're
This
locked
time
again.
Brig's gonna
Oh, no,
claim
we're not.
his corner early.
Yes. Oh, the problem is it's the
You
full
take
team
it
load.
down
Oh, you've jumped in kings, have you, Tom?
I was just testing that we could get in. That was all I was
Okay.
doing.
Okay. Did we have a 65 bonus jump up top? We didn't.
No, we did not. I've been having a look through.
Come on, people. Faster, more kings jump down, the faster we get going. There we go. Thanks, GG. And then we got one
And that's
more.
fine. Oh, no, we're not going to do that.
No, we can't do a 0S. We do cap it at 5 OS for kings, just with Raptor Crater.
Because any weak links mean the entire team collapses.
Yeah, there we go. We got Tacticas there. I mean, We could probably even bump the bonus up to 70s. There's that many peasants now. What do you guys reckon?
Yeah, I actually reckon we're getting to the 90s. I'll start from the bottom.
Start from the top.
And then we'll kick it straight off. Nightmare, if you could get ready to do one of those, everyone ready, and we'll start this one. Do apologise, people, for the kings leaving. It happens.
At least we're getting relatively good at the lobby turnaround.
Someone asked,
Okay,
there's a lower res stream on YouTube, or is it your PC? It's probably your PC because they're being streamed off of the same platform.
I like that, Leo nerd. Kings don't leave, they abdicate.
Another couple subs for the YouTube. We've got 20 to go.
Rhaedyth deserves a throne. What are you talking about, Winera?
Alright, let's jump bottom right this time. And get there quicker. There we go. Looks like we're going to get all of them.
Fingers crossed. So everyone go 1 max into 4 wind, give to Twig go into lab, build 3 builders, give 1 to each. Tank Tom and I will get another set of winds, so that there's a total of 16 of 20 wind.
Charlie wrecking it for us. Chrono, you take this one because I'll just go straight into lab.
Chrono, why are you you're a dice cube, aren't you? I can be a dice cube too. I like that. I like that a lot.
Duffy painting his corner on the other side.
And it'll probably be the most effective corner in the map. We have a lot of chaos down here on the bottom right. There are more peasants down here than anywhere else. Top right's actually got a few.
Yeah, I'm recognizing a bunch of names up on the top right from our Discord. Saying that, I haven't actually looked in today to see where. Gee, we've got a few in there.
I think there's a new way to share, or not new, maybe I just didn't know it. You can actually select the unit, press share on it, and then click the player you want to share it to. Rather than have to do it on the plain names on the right.
Where's the share button?
Well, we have to build a unit first to share it.
I've got a com.
Not sure.
I'm assuming it'll happen after we start.
If the kings are looking ready, feel free to force start this one, Mr. Mod. There we go.
Battle started. Battle paused.
Yeah, there's a share unit button. There you go.
Why is there?
Ah, there is.
There's a cookie in the middle of the map.
Ow.
I feel like he's got a
Oh, he
take.
took. Yeah, he did the take.
Ah,
Battle started.
Those fast twitch muscles. He's got those OP take commands.
New units.
mm-hmm.
You've received new units.
Oh, that's amazing. I love that new share mechanic. What the? That's awesome.
So I can go share.
You've received new units.
Oh, that's great.
So I can click share unit and then click Bradith.
You've received
Did that work?
new units.
Yes.
Yep.
So good.
Now, where are you on the list?
Units.
No idea who wrote that to me.
There's Creator. There's Twig. Okay.
Charlie's doing his own thing by the looks.
Share.
You can also just click on their com. Like you can just press share
Yeah,
and then
that's what
click
I'm
on their
doing.
com. Yeah.
Has anyone else given mexes? They haven't.
Units.
You need metal, not energy, don't you?
Yeah. Bit of both.
You've received new units.
Do you want to give me this constructor? I'll start upgrading my stuff with it.
Received new units.
Unfortunately, it looks like Charlie's doing his own thing.
He is.
Oh well. That's the way it goes.
New units.
Oh, there we go.
That
You gave
is
it.
indeed. Oh, nice.
Yeah, nice. That will definitely help. Tom, maybe you can convince your mate to
You've received new units.
give those metal extractors as well.
You've received new units.
Can I have that constructor if you're not going to do anything to it with the one that's near my stuff?
I definitely thought I pressed share unit to you. You have to directly click on the commander by the looks because I just pinged it at your base. Alright, we are needing some conversion.
Received new units.
Yep, I'm getting the conversion down for you as we speak.
Self-destructed. You've received
Can I have a bit of
new units.
energy just to get me?
I can't drag it. The list is too small, Tom.
That's right. My energy's coming up now.
Just reclaim the trees.
I've given you some energy.
So much easier with these unit sharings.
Received new units. An allied
Yeah, that is
commander
actually great. I'm not gonna lie.
Yep. Whoever told us that,
self-destructed.
if we had golden badges, we'd give you a golden badger, but instead we just have, oh no, it's a snake, run away. Badger, 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 mushroom, mushroom, badger, 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 badger.
You've received new units. Enemy commander destroyed. You've received new units. An allied commander
Oh no,
self-destructed.
it's a snake.
An allied
Run
commander
away.
self-destructed. You've received
All right,
new
Twig,
units.
you got plenty of conversion now.
Where are you on my list?
An allied commander self-destructed.
Yeah, you're doing the things.
Oh damn, he didn't keep that one going. We're doing this off of 4 mixes, are we?
Looks like it.
Apparently.
Yes, I'll be reclaiming shortly. I just need a bit of storage.
Units.
Ah,
You've
bit
got
of
a storage.
I don't have any way to get metal, do I?
Yeah, you have to give the constructor back to Twig.
Share unit 2.
Did you not build your some?
You
Okay.
receive new units.
I'm not helping out Artley Bloke. Sorry, Tom. It's not the way to copy.
Yeah,
An allied commander self-destructed.
Just gonna build this first one up here.
Do you want me to reclaim the T2 constructor that you gave me to give you more metal, to get you more metal?
An allied commander self-destructed.
Yeah, 530 is pretty good. We'll be.
Commander self-destructed.
We go straight into APHIS after this.
An
Who do we
commander
got?
self-destructed.
While you're not
Energy's a
doing
problem,
anything,
actually.
Twig, the 2 constructors that I gave back to you, can give them to me.
Yeah, you've got this one here too that you can take back or do what you will.
Receive new units.
Thank you.
Well, build yourself a small eco, Tom, and then you'll be able to use it. I'm not going to use it up there. Do I go
I'm running off like 3
double
metal a
fusion,
second.
maybe? I'm going to go double fusion. Don't have the metal to go APHIS.
Oh, go into that double fusion. We can detonate a comm if you want more metal.
That is an opportunity.
It's an obstetrician.
Your T2 constructor out here is just sitting.
Reclaim it.
An allied commander
Uh,
self-destructed. An allied commander self-destructed.
I don't know. You can reclaim it and give me the metal, but I think you'll struggle too much to get me the metal. What can I reclaim? Maybe some wind.
I don't even see you on the list. There you are.
He's
Commander destroyed.
near the top-ish.
Yeah, I've caught him. All right, 3 minutes, Twig. Keep going.
Do we do APHIS now? Maybe a
Yeah.
slow build.
Um,
I
Probably.
probably wouldn't jump straight in. I'd almost be inclined to get some units for the first push.
What's Duffy got? He's telling us so as fuck. Oh, he's gone APHIS. We are slow compared to
go the APHIS. Even if you've got a reclaim to get the APHIS,
Yeah, I'll need lots of energy storage for that.
We can help with that.
you don't need the energy storage. You still have 1 fusion.
This is true. Need the metal storage. I'll build that.
And like, how much metal do you have?
Yeah, 2k. I'm gonna just build a bit more build
Okay.
car.
Every little bit into this eco. Don't
gonna get
don't
spam
reclaim the fusion to your actual empty on metal, and even then, don't reclaim it until you're at 50% on the APHIS, because you'll lose the generation that it came with.
Hmm.
Yeah, you've still got 1700 metal in the bank, so just keep, and it's not going down quickly, so just keep spending on build turrets.
And now it's empty.
Nice. Now you can finish the reclaim, and it will actually be effective. Boom.
We have 10 seconds left. I wonder if we're going to get rushed. Do we need to consider defenses? Get your comms
We're
ready.
definitely going to get rushed. just based on what we're seeing.
Lava level is
Kings are aggressive. Look at the...
That's a lot of stuff.
That's a lot of stuff.
Self-destructed.
I'm getting an energy storage down,
T2 unit
Yeah, I've got an energy and
myself.
metal storage.
and then I'm heading down. Then I'm sending my comm to the front line to do the damage it needs to do. Twig, you're on mass eco duty. When you've hit triple APHIS or
T3.
quad APHIS, actually, give Tank Tom and I each a fusion and a converter.
Yeah, okay.
And Tank Tom, we'll just get our comms into the fight for now. Just make sure you've got the energy storage so you can degun like crazy.
Yeah, I might build myself another one.
Looks like we're getting good action here out of some players. Neo's in there with some goblins, little goblins.
Okay, so that one's blocked. We can get through here. Oh, someone's in on the top side.
Nice. Oh wow. And with ticks too. What a oh no. Oh yeah, get it. Yum.
That's nice.
That was good.
There are
Razorbacks are here to
Razorbacks.
clean up, but if these can run through, there's more to grab.
This ramp is closed for business.
We got some big pushes out of players. This is nice.
We might not even get any action.
Well, we won't if you're stuffing up your build order as badly as you are.
How am I stuffing it up? We're at, I'm keeping the middle around 1,000. I'm going all right.
Oh, that was fun.
An allied commander has died.
Cookie giving us
Left
shit.
side, I kill you for fun's in trouble to
This looks like an opening. Is that moving faster than these? 75, 50,
An
90.
allied commander
Ah.
has died.
Expensive. Ramp is open for business again.
An allied commander
Nice.
has died. An allied commander has died. An allied commander has died.
Oh, I can't build there. No. One freaking square out. Damn.
you stuffed it up.
We might be in here.
An allied commander.
Nice. Do it, Tom. Do it, Tom. Get in there, son.
Yeah, I got no idea what's good for Legion. What is good for Legion?
Twig, give me all of your... Oh, no, that's not your wind, is it? Damn it.
An allied commander has died.
I see what you're doing.
I need at least 500.
What do you need? Energy?
I need at least 500 consistent energy.
How do, where's your commander?
Oh.
A unit. There you go. Get a fusion.
Thank you.
I have no idea what T3 units to build. What's good?
Has died.
So Tank Tom, do not run that spam. Oh no, they can see me.
They're not mine.
They can see me. I
They'll see the dot.
was really hoping that they wouldn't have something that could see that.
I do like
it's
the
worth a
plan.
try. I'll give it back.
Oh, I'm in the process of building some more anyway, so.
Oh, okay. I thought Twig gave me the fusion.
I did.
Oh, yeah, he did. I gave you a bunch of energy storage.
Yeah. I'm trying to give it back. Share unit to Twig.
Where's your
There
commander,
you go.
Tom?
It was
There
worth a
is.
try. It was definitely worth a try.
Has died.
I have no idea what these javelins are like. But you've got them. You're gonna each get a few, and then we'll give one Praetorian to pray, just because it's called a Praetorian.
Yes, give me the Praetorian love.
Okay, share unit. How do I share to you with you don't have a commander?
I do have one. It's at the front.
We weren't dumb
didn't
enough
die.
to kill him off.
As soon as I started taking fire, I started backing out.
There you go.
Oh, I have these. Okay. You guys are gonna be on 1, I guess. 'Cause- Oh, you are not gonna be on 1.
An allied
Tank
commander
Tom.
has died.
Do you want to go degun that Eviscerator? Actually, I've got it.
Enemy commander destroyed.
Which one are you looking at?
The one that's shelling into the defenses.
Ah,
That's right, I got it. I got it.
let's go get him.
Let's go.
I'm going this way because it's not getting hit by the pulsar.
Fair enough. And it's a good way in, too.
An allied commander has died.
Nice.
Pray, do you still have that T2 bot?
No, I ate it to help you get your T2 lab.
That's fine. Makes sense.
I think I lost one.
Yeah, they're getting these are super vulnerable to snipers. They die to 2 sniper shots.
You do have
Got the
another
con, though.
unit, you know. You have the Praetorian.
Didn't see that one.
It's just sitting
It
there.
was not there when I took the other units.
What do you mean it dies to a welder? That I was not expecting.
Stealthy units detected. An allied commander has died.
Okay. Why is it shooting at my ally?
Go, Praetor, through.
Oh, we can get their pinpointers.
Stealthy units detected.
Nice.
That's a waste.
Whilst these ticks are going, I'm gonna get in on those snipers.
Do you still have that
T1
T
That was
anywhere? I'm gonna have to build another one. I'm going back and forth too much.
Go see what this stuff.
An allied commander has died.
How you guys going in there?
It's
Taking
Um,
distance.
I've only got
Yeah, you got the next one, Tom. I just have
Light
to echo for a
P1.
bit.
and they've got defenses on all the things now. It's like they weren't a fan of us getting in the first time,
possibly.
and now the holes are plugged.
Not all the holes. Haha, we got the build power of pink.
That's what you want.
Nice.
And the
Oh.
conversion. Beautiful. BEA,
I mean, we can-
beautiful.
I'm keen to kill that pulsar if we can.
What have I done?
I'm just assuming that we're all running in through red at the moment.
I've been harassing the orange player and the pink player so that they can't help with the top side because they're stuck helping fighting us. Nice.
That is an opening.
That's a big punch through. Duffy Duffy came online is what's happening.
Yikes. What did he build? Yeah, javelins. I've gone straight into your favourite unit, Prey.
Nice.
Correct.
Except Tom's going to get that because he's next.
No, evil. Evil. How is Tom next? The last unit I got was a single Praetorian.
Oh, your commander's not in the middle.
Because he's been defending stuff.
Start building stuff up here, I guess. Wow.
Womp womp.
Oh, Duffy is onto the... I mean, Cookie Destroyer is onto the APHIS.
Look, once you open up
Duffy
that
again.
big,
Oh, he got it. He got it. Last shot.
It's Duffy again.
Duffy again? Okay.
It's Duffy again.
what group are you on?
Are the Praetorians any good?
It's the Praetorian has a mixed range, which means that it doesn't, and like the long range bombard is no more effective than the than a single Quaker equivalent tank.
Yeah. You need that fusion back, Prey?
I do, yes, I do. The wind has gone to absolute hell. Why do I have negative 1,000 energy? Anyway.
Starting to get a little laggy.
Oh boy,
Let's go back to the
my
Solar
metal's
Victus
building.
again.
I can build more build power. I like where you're going. I approve of this action.
Me too. I quite like where I'm going to. No!
Oh,
No!
Die, Titan, die.
So the Praetorian's really good at killing He's really good at killing Razorbacks, but if in most of the situation it's not strong enough to do very much.
Alright, see if I can share this to you without your, yeah, I can. There you go, you got Sol Invictus coming out shortly.
Nice.
Can we find some damage with these?
They are slow.
Oh, you've got a forward line one as well. Get through over here. What's the purple line on the outside made? Red's obviously attack. Is purple the radar? Oh,
Not sure.
Destroyed.
yeah, those pulsars do too much work when they're not in swarms.
Yeah, the
Soul
pulsars
is
are
useless. It
stonk.
walks too slow.
Do the damage.
Enemy commander destroyed.
We got it.
I think they resigned.
We got it.
Nicely done, guys. Chronographer's commanded there in the middle. By the way, Chronographer's the one that's responsible for all that lava that's around these maps when we start.
Battle ended. An allied commander
Cookie produced the most resources. How do we go in comparison to? There, we're about there. We're at the bottom of 5 of the kings. He's at the top of everyone. We're not too far behind though. We're at 3/4 of his eco. We did alright. Considering we only had 3/4 of his max. Makes sense, doesn't it?
Yeah, checks out.
Pray, how do you think about
Well,
casting one rather than playing?
I think we should probably do that, and if people are listening, I reckon it's time for with the number of players in there. I reckon it's time for a pretty strong Kings team if anyone's interested, and we'll give you a 71 bonus.
The kings are going to have Legion this time. I'll set that up. And the peasants are going Cortex. Oops, wrong button. Wrong button. We will put an appropriate bonus onto them afterwards, depending who's down there. Duffy is down there. We're going to see Amir down there. Amir almost is always down there at least once a week. And Amir is good at kings.
You guys want me on the cast as well, or should I jump on down there too?
Go for it down there,
To
mate.
you.
We like to pick on you. We haven't cast enough of your Road to 25 games lately, so I need to pick on what you're doing. Favorite part of my week, picking on you. Not really. Put it this way, I don't not enjoy it. That's a lot of kings, people. So
yeah, I'm going through and adding bonuses, and then I'm gonna go through and start removing people.
yeah, no worries. You make those decisions on who's going to be down there. Keep them all above 20 OS for this one, I reckon, so that there's no excuses from any one of them. I do think we will lower the bonus slightly because they lost quite hard last. Oh no, sorry, that doesn't make any sense. Should be keeping it there based on the last game.
You will be keeping it there.
I'm actually going to hit start record now so we don't forget to record one for the weekly. Let's make sure it's a good one. Peasant's got to step up and put some pressure on
3,
Duffy
4,
and Tank
5,
Tom.
6, 7, 8.
9 in there.
That's 9.
Yep.
Pause in these games a lot. He knows what he's doing.
Got any bonus? We do have bonuses left over, so we'll remove a few of them.
Yeah, I'm going through and doing that. I moved them up. and left the bonuses there while I moved them up, so that then if they jumped back down, we could still see who was who. Alrighty, I will be back in just a moment. I'm in spec, which is where I need to be, and then I'll be ready to cast.
It's looking like IDs are good.
People on the YouTube, if you haven't hit subscribe yet, we're at 1,983, 17 to go until we're at 2K. That's if you want to watch our content. But if you're watching our content right now, I mean, that means you want to watch our content. So it makes sense to press that button. Good showing on the YouTube. 50 watching right now.
Nice. We got 33 on the Twitch at the moment, because that's the one I have on top, so I can see it.
That share unit ability makes it so much more efficient. Like, yes, we weren't Duffy's level of eco, but we were, like I said, 3/4 of the size of it, and I'm happy with that. Enough to make a difference, and all three of you guys that I was sharing units to. Oh my goodness, I just realized I never shared any to Chronographer. Oh, sorry, dude. Oh, wow, I got caught on Charlie. I don't know why. Sorry, Chrono. You do so much for the game, and I just took your one mechs and didn't give you any units to micro.
I'm gonna start speccing people, I reckon. So we can get this show underway. Looks like we should be all good.
Nice. I'm the classic make myself a cup of tea to keep the throat nice and lubricated, but left it for like the last hour and a bit now, and it's gone room temperature cold. Do it every week.
Just responding to your comment there in the Twitch Aeon Spy with Ancient Vault, one of the challenges we've found is that if there's maps where the peasants can layer themselves, it gets real rough to try and get the
yeah, you can't really break through an
be able to push out.
Even either direction, it just becomes static defense, really.
Yeah, if the peasants can eco in the corner and lose the front 3 lines, and you have to fight through them every time, the push out kind of never really gets rolling, because we've done a few different ones where, like with this one, they've basically got 1, maybe 2 layers in the corners, whereas if you've got multiple layers deep, then it gets really rough to try and actually push out.
Where are you, Tom? You're south of Duffy. Got Tenebos in the middle. Got a player that might want to leave the middle.
No, it's alright, they can stay there. That's fine. I think we're just waiting for everyone to do the
You back, Prey?
ready business.
Relying on Prey for one of his nice intros.
The thing is, you can just wait until he gets back and then run it. It'll be fine. I don't think it'll make too much difference whether it starts at second 0 or second 20 or whatever.
Thank you to those few more that have hit subscribe on the YouTube. Figure if we can get a good showing on our YouTubes and Twitches from a game that's still growing in popularity, I can convince my wife to make one of those cooking YouTubes and then she'll become a millionaire and support me so I can just play bar full time.
I don't reckon I've had any of her cooking yet. I'll have to fix that one day.
Oh, she's good at it.
Alrighty then.
Warmed up that throat prey. You can take this one away when it starts.
I think I've already made a sore knees joke when it comes to warming up my throat, so I'll just skip that this time. Let's just double check your audio. Is that registering? Oh, it should be, because otherwise stream would have told us by now that there was no anything. Tank Tom, are you playing in this one?
He's south of Duffy.
There you are. Just getting myself oriented.
And just to post the rules one more time for Raptors. If anyone's listening in and they want to talk to their teammates, jump in on the Discord. There's a link in all of our videos. Also, I've been posting it throughout the night. I could already see there's about 10 people in there talking. It's great for those commie ecos and focusing on one point way to push.
I can feel him planning against me. If it looks ready to force start, I can drop that in if you want.
It's looking pretty good.
We just need to get a whole bunch of peasants to move into the middle of the circle so that then the kings can get a nice dono. Don't actually do that. Sorry, I forget. I forget that someone might actually take me seriously.
I remember when you told someone to Alt F4 and they did, and it was glorious.
Good on them for coming back in, though. There were just a few words that we can't repeat in streams. All right, let's go, Tom.
Alrighty then, welcome everybody to King of the Hill on Raptor Crater. Big game this time round. We have 9 versus 61, so we're one off that magic number. In the middle, we have some absolutely massive stars, including our very own Tank Tom, who's going to be taking the bottom left-hand position. We'll see whether he can punch on up. I'm always a fan of the left and right, because those ones have the easiest directions to punch in. Now, King of the Hill. This is where we put some players with, in this time, a very hefty bonus, 71% after an absolutely crushing defeat in the most recent match. Basically, all lanes bar 2 fell, and so we'll see whether they can push out and win this one as the Kings, and whether this one will be slightly less of a stomping. A big thank you to Chronographer. Always got to make sure that everyone knows that he is responsible for that lava. What an absolute mad lad.
Little special change for tonight's game is it's faction wars. So we've got Legion Kings versus, what do we put the peasants? I'm going to put them as Cortex.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to have some massive variety in the middle with all 9 comms being Legion. We're going to see a nice mix of units from all of the singular faction. And around the outside, I do believe it is Cortex that everybody is. So this is going to be a absolute slugfest between Juggernauts and Soul Invictus if this goes a long way. But I do think that the Cortex Behemoth is going to be a line breaker in this situation if the peasants can last long enough. Now, what makes this possible for the Kings, if you haven't tuned in the past? The Kings have 10-minute no rush, that's when the lava disappears, and we do not allow structures to be used offensively. So that means if you build a Juno as a peasant, make sure you Juno outside of the crater. If you build a Juno as a king, make sure you Juno inside the crater. And similarly for all of your other structures, just make sure that range doesn't pass on to anyone's bases. It's alright to build them to fortify an area, so long as that fortification doesn't then turn them into an offensive bastion to the other team. Not enough space, too many players to let that happen. Should be an interesting one though this time, with a high bonus and very strong kings. We're going to see a big one in the corners. Let's have a look at how those commie ecos are going. If you're playing as a peasant, one of the best ways to really push the kings is to help these corners grow. The more players that can get into assisting, the better. You only really need one T2 lab per corner, and they can feed everyone a T2 constructor, then go straight into those fusions and APHIS. Twig, I think at the 10-minute mark last game, you had two fusions and an APHIS built, though I think you reclaimed one of the fusions.
Yep.
So it's definitely possible to turn those corners into something pretty crazy, and that was only with a hand. Imagine if you could have 7.
Yeah. Don't know if this game's showing as great a commie eco. We've got a few corners that have all 3 mexes dedicated towards one user. But last game we did have a couple corners. We had 4 to ourselves, 4 mexes, and we do know Duffy had 6, so that really showed for a very powerful eco in one corner. In fact, our ecoing every king by getting all 6 of those mexes just to himself, not having to build any defenses. It's just pure eco for 10 minutes. I think he ended up going for about 15 minutes and then into a bunch of javelins. And he's getting to play as Legion again now that he's one of the kings. The Javelin was his unit of choice last game, did a lot of damage, managed to pop some APHIS pretty early in his transition, and that was a real game changer for the peasants last game.
Now, with the bonus eco, I'm actually noticing a lot of these players haven't bothered to go into that T1.5 mex that the Legion provides. The overcharged metal extractor produces off of these ones in the middle produces 3.8 instead of the 1.5, which you then multiply by the 70%. The cost of each one of those is 250 metal, which means that producing approximately 6 metal a second, it does not take long to hit that 250. About 40 seconds. So I actually reckon going into this is a really good idea, provided you've got the wind to manage them. They are power hungry, consuming 30 energy each. Legion does have that issue with early wind, but when you're producing 70% extra, taking a look at Hot Potato, for example, you've got 1200 energy income and going straight into those T2s. The extra energy income provided by the regular metal extractors not worthwhile. So my recommendation would be to jump straight into those advanced. They'll give you a heck of a lot of extra metal.
Yeah. And one thing I've noticed that you do when you play Legion in normal PvP is you upgrade some that T1.5.
Yes.
Whereas others you won't bother with it, and I like that because in the instance of here, let's just say this player here's got it's Cookie, he's got the T2 up. He's just going straight into those T2 converters. He only, I think, upgraded a couple to T1.5. And that's just because the speed that he's getting the T2 out, it's not going to pay itself off by the time these get upgraded. Like they might be T1.5 for about 30 seconds before they're already upgraded to T2.
I like the way that he's done it, where he's gone the close mexes as the regulars and the far out mexes as the overcharged, because these overcharged will take a while to get to, and therefore they're going to pay themselves off. So I really like that. If I was running this map,
these aren't T1.5s.
The 2 at the front are 1.5s for. Oh, sorry, I'm looking at Tank Tom, aren't I?
You're looking at the wrong side.
My apologies. But yeah, Tank Tom's done very similar to what I would have done. Yeah. I would have done the first 4 mexes as the 4 mexes in the No Man's Land as. Not necessarily no man, but the buffer zone.
Yeah.
We do have a agitator getting down on Tank Tom. We do need that one removed. Error_user, that is against the rules. Hopefully that'll disappear in just a moment.
Tom, if you're in there, feel free to pause the game. There we go. It's gone. That is what happens if you break the rules.
Removed. Just takes a moment to find and delete, which we could do that one ourselves hopefully one day. But yes, going back to those mexes, I think those T1.5 mexes are going to be a big deal when it comes to how the middle of the map plays, because there's definitely a lot of value in doing it. But if you follow Cookie's build, which seems to have been a very lean build, you get those T2 mexes up ludicrously early. 7 minutes, all mexes done. And we have a fusion reactor and enough metal to get a second one. I need to watch this build. I'm gonna be watching this build after tonight just to see how he did that. That's a crazy level of eco at 7 minutes.
You're talking about Duffy?
Yeah, sorry, Duffy.
Yeah. Oh, well.
The downside to his build is it's lacking on build power, but I think that could have been mathematically calculated because he only had those 5, 10 wind.
Tom's actually doing kind of
wind.
opposite to Duffy. He's gone into a lot of build power, just the one fusion. Watch how fast this one comes up. This is going to be up in 13 seconds. And he's essentially going to be neck and neck for eco with Duffy. So I'm actually thinking Tank Thomas is a better build.
Potentially, yeah. Looking at the looking at the two of them in the stats, Duffy's produced an extra 1,000 metal, but Tank Tom has produced an extra 200,000 energy, and any of that's overflowed has probably helped do Duffy's builds. But yeah, wow, this triple fusion out of Tank Tom, I almost would have gone into a single fusion Aphis, but that is a formidable amount of eco that these guys are going to have to play with. But 1.5 minutes to go.
Yeah,
and
T3 maybe.
No units in sight. No defenses either for Tank Tom.
Dragging out the whole map. Doesn't look like the peasants have too many either. I am surprised. The peasants really need to start building units at about that 6, 7, 8 minute mark if you're on this outer ring towards the middle of the map. Sorry, I should say inner ring. You want to put that early pressure on. You saw what happened last game. I mean, people watching this video on the replay won't, but the ones watching on the stream. There was a lot of pushing, especially on the south side at the start, and getting right into the ecos and doing some APM damage more than anything. Stops the Kings from ecoing up just because they're so focused on their defenses.
Interesting thing about Duffy's build, I'm not seeing much conversion there. So 4 fusion reactors built before any T2 conversions. That's definitely an interesting amount of eco to run through. But again, the defenses are a little lacking for players, so we'll see what happens. But yeah, the big difference between this game and last game, at the 10 minutes, there was many. I do believe that one king got pushed all the way back to the inner circle, and 2 kings lost their foothold. 2 other kings lost their foothold.
Yeah, we got 10 seconds left. Who is going to get pushed the hardest at the start? There we go. Tank Tom's got a number of units out. I do like this. The hoplites, they're quite a fast unit. Kind of like Hound, maybe a little bit tankier. They got almost 2k health. He's going to be pushing those units. The lava has dissipated, and that is going to be one of the focal points at the start. We do have tick spam coming a few other places. I reckon this commander from Maz is going to be the key thing to stop these.
If it has energy.
Oh, and it does not.
Also, the pawn's doing a surprising amount of damage to its hoplites.
Not overly strong. It's through.
But the units are up, and the eco damage is being done. Good attack, Tank Tom. And we'll see just how far these can push through. There doesn't seem to be any ability to even get a response. These are going to be unchecked for a while as long as they don't run into a comm. So if Tank Tom can micro these, the damage is formidable, not to mention some nice chain reactions through that wind. Tank Tom is going to clear 5 or 6 players if he plays this one right.
Unfortunately, heading in the wrong direction with that one. There was a T2 lab that had no defenses, and there's fiends there now. I mean, he's going to get damaged.
Yeah, but the goal is to get into these corners, and he can get there with that one hoplite. What's there between? Oh, there is a pop up. Damn, missed that. But still, the amount of damage these units have done is crazy. And there's the 3 going in the other direction. Oh, now 1, but still really good attack out of Tank Tom. That's some devastating T2 pushing out. And now look at what he's got back in his base.
Oh wow, That could really do some work.
Don't know if you guys have been watching the Road to Journey, but one of the big things that I've been commenting to Tank Tom after watching those replays, and I think I even say it in the replays, waypoints, my friend, waypoints. Those are your biggest weakness.
It's probably working in his favor here, because in King of the Hill you do want to just build up units and go on these big rushes, whereas in a PvP that's you need the positions. That's a lot of these going down to some commanders.
Oof. But they're still in. They could still be in if they play their cards right. Or only 3 passing through. And this is, again, we say this a lot in King of the Hill. Getting that T1 spam in front is really important for Legion. If you go the T1 bot lab, you can get the tiny rolling balls of tiny laser beams, and those are your best friends.
Tom needs? He needs spam now, and he needs some res bots in that spam.
Oh yeah,
in
that
King of the Hill,
do
like
that.
maybe like 10 ticks on 1 res bot, just so that I know that if I need to jump in the line of spam coming out, I can just grab the odd res bot and send it off to reclaim.
And then also continuing to scale that eco in the background, which I do like to see. First APHIS is coming down, plenty of conversion being built. The conversion is nicely nestled into everything, so we'll see how long that one lasts. Tank Tom going for some Aquabus. The Aquabus. That nice long-range firepower to back up the vision that these hoplites are getting. And we'll see where else on the map we've got some big action. Peasants pushing in from the top right-hand side. This is Emir pushing. Comms are in the mix, so they're going to get a nice amount of damage done. But we're getting help from the next-door neighbor players out of the Kings. These guys making sure that the lanes that are struggling, getting all the assistance you need. The more efficiently you can deal with problems, the more units you'll have available for next time. So do try to make sure that you're helping everybody out. Did that fix my mic issues?
Yeah, you're all fixed now. That was good. The commander here, Tim Spoody, you want to make sure you put your commander on invisible when you're up there against some units. And you do have
100%.
You have a fusion, so you can definitely afford to. Oh, these belchers really do some slow burning damage, but also slow moving. Oh, Duffy has come online and he's going for the same units again as last game, those javelins.
Those javelins in force act a lot like Razorbacks. I think they have slightly more range, but slightly less movement speed, but they are a very similar unit and very hard to deal with out of the gate. We're at 14 minutes and T3 is already up. This is the sort of thing that the comms really need to be well and truly on top of. This comm should get most of them. Unfortunately, though, not quite the perfect D-guns. Plenty of damage done, though, so these should be clean upable. But it's going to come down to Skeggy, potentially Scamdemic, to try to clean that one up. But this means that the Kings have a foot. Unlike last game, so long as this can get fortified, it's time to punch on in and make a space to start launching from. One of the things that Kings can do, if they're having trouble pushing their own lanes, it's time to jump on up a lane that's already made it through. Orange has made their Hot Potato, has managed to make their debut into damage though, and they're heading on up the ramp on their side. The Praetorians that we experimented with at last game, they're a good all-rounder unit. Bit of long-range damage, bit of short-range, high DPS with those shotguns, and a really good unit to be backed up with spam, cleaning up plenty of these players. We're not seeing any of that crazy eco in the bottom corners that we have in the previous games, but smart call from the bottom left-hand side that is getting their T3 lab up, even though to APHIS, they do have to be producing units to try and hold on as long as possible so that the top left and the top right can come on in a big way.
It is probably the biggest eco out of all the peasants as well. I don't see any others with 2 APHIS, so nicely done getting those up. But yeah, they need to. Tank Tom pushing south. Doesn't even have to watch his 6 because Duffy is up there with the T3 constantly coming out now. Like, great scaling, and those javelins are not stopping. They're on the clock though. There are so many peasants in this game. There's still 59 in this game. A few dropped by the looks of things, but if you leave them for long enough, they will out eco you massively.
They will if pressure is they will only if pressure is applied to the kings. If the kings are left in the position they are right now, the eco for the kings will continue to explode. The issue will come in with unit cap. As these kings push out a little bit harder, they will start to run out of units, and that actually can be a great opportunity to attack when an army is ravaging another map. You can sneak on in and they can't build anything to do anything about it. But that's usually more of an issue when you start seeing those 70 plus players in a game.
A little bit of mic drop then again, Prey. Tank Tom, he's got these Aquabus. They're unfortunately quite weak, and now that there's Kargis coming out from that corner player, they took out those very quickly, and now there is no strong T2 out of Tank Tom. He probably needs to look at T3, and speaking of the devil, he's not joking around, he's going straight into the Soul Invictus.
I love the Soul Invictus.
With over 500 metal per second income, he can afford it. What I would be doing if I was him though is just focusing on spam, turning off these Aquabuses. He really needs to put that waypoint. Yeah, it's just he's got him sitting in the base there. But yeah, with these Soul Invictus coming out, if we saw some goblins coming out of some T1 labs, I reckon there wouldn't be much stopping this. We've got another push out of top right now. So the Myrmidons, an all-terrain drone carrier. Unfortunately, the drones are turned off. I have been given a tweak which allows them to be turned on, but unfortunately I forgot to turn that on. They still do a lot of damage.
I would be leaving them off because how do you shoot them down as the other player? Because anti-air is disabled when you have air disabled. But it does look like the King's in a very dominant position. And I think with the lack of pressure that was put on them at that 10-minute mark is a really big indicator of what that plus 70 can do. This game is starting to look like it's massively King favored, but the plus 70 is only as good as it is when you let the King have that scaling time.
Yeah.
For example, Tank Tom, at the 10-minute mark for Tank Tom, one side had all those hoplites pushing up, but the other side had a bastion being built with 2 minutes left and no other defenses. So there was an entirely open ramp that could have been sent straight into Tank Tom's base, and there were others available on the map.
Well, not doing really well at the top. So these Myrmidons might reach this eco corner. There are only Sheldons there to defend. I don't even see any pop-ups, no towers whatsoever. It's Merc getting into position with his commander, hoping to maybe get some D-guns off. But what's the player view look like? Can we see some long-range eco? We can't. We got some micro happening over here. Oh, unfortunately, these are all bunched up, so these might be some really good D-guns.
It's going to be a good D-gun.
Bang,
yes.
Gets them all.
Very nicely done. Very nicely done. These mobile siege units are crazy, but they're not unstoppable if you have the right sort of defenses. Speaking of unstoppable, though, these Soul Invictus, if you let them pass the ramp and you don't kill them with the comms, you're in pretty big trouble. And again, we've got the Kings playing really smart this time. They've got all that spam in front of the Soul Invictus, making it much harder to get the D-gun. One does still go down, but it does mean that comm couldn't walk between the two and get both. So trading one instead of two because of that spam, 100% worthwhile.
Absolutely. I'm liking what I'm seeing out of two dudes. He's got the spam coming out with these Soul Invictus. Tank Tom's only got the T2 coming with it, so there's not as many units. Probably still enough coming out though to detect any commanders ahead, especially with how fast they move. And there you go. One of the Lavender players popping that Soul Invictus with a comm because there wasn't quite enough spam there.
It is one of the things you have to be very careful of because these units are a 23,000 metal investment. You pop enough of those with comms and you can actually change the scape of the battle. Though in this exact circumstance, just the sheer skill of the players down here, Aeon Spy up to more APHIS than I can count quickly because my bandboxing is grabbing the turrets, not the APHIS. But across the King's board, we do have ourselves 51 APHIS, which can only happen when players are left to their own devices, which is what has happened in this case.
There we go, Tank Tom's 2 Soul Invictus. There are a couple comms. They haven't masked, so maybe he was going to be okay. Yeah, they're going to just be picked apart when you don't put your comms on invisible. There we go. Neodot has done just that, keeping him in the gap. Unfortunately, though, with these hoplites coming up, I reckon that commander will get connected. You really want to tuck him in on the side there somewhere that the Sol Invictus is going to walk past, where the spam's going to walk past. One goes down, one commander goes down in return.
Yeah, once you bypass the ramps, the ability to grab those Sol Invictus is much reduced because they can walk just about anywhere they want to. Whereas in the ramps, they are forced to go up, and a comm can basically degum from either side if they get close enough.
Things are not looking good for the peasants at all right now. What's different in this game, Prey, compared to the last, where
Aggression.
we saw 20 minutes and the Kings were defeated?
Aggression. So the caliber of Kings is slightly higher in this match, or maybe not the caliber, but the experience of the Kings is slightly harder. But the big thing was peasant aggression. In the previous match, there was something like 300 to 400 units out of the peasants that went charging in at 10 minutes, as compared to this one where it was the Kings that pushed out. And we do know that aggression wins these games because whichever team is allowed to eco grabs that mid-game advantage, and we're seeing a huge mid-game advantage. If you let the Kings scale, they will scale like crazy.
I'm liking what Tom's doing now. He waited for these hoplites to come up the ramp before the Sol Invictus, and now it's happy days. There are no commanders in this corner from what I can see. No, I think he's got a clean sweep. Yeah,
I would say that this is definitely a clean sweep. The only units coming out to deal with this are catapults. If you're in this situation, you basically have to roll the dice with the behemoth. Because the behemoth is the only thing that's going to be strong enough to hold the front against Sol Invictus.
Yeah, even putting these bulwarks down. One of the things that I don't love about Cortex, they don't have a great T2 energy weapon. The Pulsar for Armada just seems so much better.
Oh, the Pulsar is a next level weapon, but it can't do anything against spam. The Bulwark does hold its own pretty well against spam, so it's a 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. And again, it just means that you need something with it, so not necessarily relying entirely on a defensive structure.
Once Tom pops his eco, it'll almost be moving all the Sol Invictus on. He wants to turn around. Having said that, it's a walk across the map.
Move on to where, Twig? Move on to where?
Top right's got a little bit, but definitely not enough. The peasants down to just 4 commanders. It's not happening for him tonight. Nice. So that's 2 wins for Legion. Is it Legion OP? Maybe next game we're going to have to go Armada versus Cortex. Finding that Legion just has a little bit more diversity than both the other teams. I'm no good at it though. Okay, 2 commanders left. Where are they? Oh wow, one right here, baby Punji, taking out Tom's Sol Invictus. There you go, Pop.
Sending them in on oh no, it's gonna get the other one too. No.
Turn around.
Poor Sol Invictus. Oh well, they're both here.
Yeah, they are. Hopefully Tom's manually. Oh no. No, Tom. Macro, you don't need any
Tom,
anymore.
so many Sol Invictus lost to the comms, but that's okay. Does look like a cleanup for this one.
There's one to go. He's about to run into him now. Ah, keep those units going, Tom. What are you doing? Don't stop. Run forward. He's just dodging it. Here we go. Here goes another Sol Invictus, but
There
that
it
explosion
goes.
is enough.
That is the end of it for the peasants.
Nice quick one out of the Kings. Very nicely done.
Yeah, very, very strong.
Oh yes, I love it when they blow up at the end of the game. Juicy.
Nicely done. Very nicely done.
Nice chain reactions in the back of that scoreboard where we see Aeon, Spire, Cookie, Tank Tom. Oh, a good share of the damage done from all the players. Over into the graphs, damage dealt. Kings very dominant, showing only 1 peasant team really up there with the damage dealt. And let's look at the metal produced. You can see not 1 peasant ecoing to the degree that we saw in previous games. We had 3 peasant corners, Combi eco, and have the eco up in there in the mix of all the kings. Absolutely dominant showing from the kings in that game.
The biggest one to look at, even though it's quite hard to see, that damage dealt graph. You're only seeing 3 peasant lines above the bare minimum at the 13-minute mark, and that is the difference between this game and last game. When you looked at the peasant damage done graph by the 13-minute mark, there were over 15 peasants that were right up there with the amount of damage the kings were doing, and that's gonna make or break a game.
Yeah, aggression, like you said, is what wins these things. Let's see how the next one goes for those watching on the replay later in the week. Hope you enjoyed that one, and we'll see you next time.
Thanks everyone for joining us. Alrighty, let's balance this one out a bit. Let's bump that bonus down a little bit, considering we have slightly less peasants as well. And let's cycle everybody out and in again, see what happens.
I feel like that was one of the first games where I actually was allowed to continue to scale.
they didn't really attack you, did they?
You did really good. You actually out-ecoed Duffy at one point as well, where you had the build power available, even though he got a couple of fusion up first. Your second
I
one
have
and your
evidence in
third
the
one.
Discord saying that I'm over double his eco at one point.
Yeah,
in the
you
middle.
did well. Your eco just shot up when you're on build power. Was able to build those. I think it was 13 seconds for your fusion, your second fusion.
Yeah, the 71 makes a difference.
All right. Well, speaking of that, let's knock them back down to say 60th and see if we can get a few more kings down there, a few new kings. And it looks like we have a few less peasants this time, so we might have a bit more of an equal showing.
Righty, for those listening and also playing, can we get ourselves 9 new kings?
All right. How do you pronounce that? Aristus asks, did you have the same eco boost as last game? Yes, it was. I mean, there was one difference. We just do that so we can identify the difference between the kings of one game to the next.
Yep. Last game was plus 70. This one was plus 71.
Yeah. Is the team unlocked? No one's jumping down from what I can see.
No, because I can't really
we can't fix that.
can flow
Well,
fix
oh
that.
no, Nightmare is gone. Uh-oh. Can we force people to team one?
I can't join team 1 as a boss,
Team
so
two. Bang. Okay, you can force people to. Maybe did that work? Yeah, I was
Yeah, we
able to
forced Tank
force.
Tom to team 1.
You can, so we actually assign teams. There we go. Nightmare's back.
There we go. Nightmare has unlocked the teams. There we go.
Okay, let's get 9 new kings down there. Witcher. I don't know why I try and pronounce names. I'm just not going to anymore.
we're going with 60s, are we?
60s indeed.
Yeah, last game was a bit too powerful, and we do have a few less peasants this time. We're at 80 last 2 games, we're down to 60. And please don't add barbs, whoever's doing that. You will unfortunately be removed.
Who do they belong to? The barbs are Chewel's.
Yeah, I've just spec'd him. He's in there. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to kick that player because they're doing it to wreck the lobby.
Yep.
$15 minutes of fame. How you going there, Tom? What have we got? I'll start moving the 71s out.
I think we've got about.
And we're going to leave Cookie Destroyer in that middle.
Okay.
I think, if there's enough.
There's exactly enough. There's 9. Let's lock that team.
Oop.
I'm seeing some sneaky +1s.
Cookie has jumped out, has he? We've got Took My Love there instead.
He has indeed.
We're at less than 60 for the peasants. It's a good amount now, so I don't mind that it's a 60 bonus and 60.
This should actually be quite fair. We've got a strong Kings team with no one below 19 OS, a couple of silver chefs, and some names that I recognize. And then we've also got a nice mix on of the Kings team and no one too crazy. So there are a couple of Aeon Spy is a scary.
I'm seeing Bob stuff in
Scary
the
person.
chat, but I'm not seeing any in the game, which is nice.
I'm seeing them pop up very briefly and then disappear. Okay, a couple more to jump in and then we'll get things kicked off. Got one player in a previous game. There we go. There's the rules, people. No rush timer, 10 minutes. Peasants start on the outside, and biggest one that we see breached is no structures that can be used offensively. That means don't build any agitators on those hills that can reach those mexes. Don't shoot any Junos into the enemy's bases, but you can shoot them onto the ramps, which is considered like the no man's land at the start of the game. That could stop the spam.
We've just had someone in our Discord ask about strategies for peasants.
Tommy Ecos.
Okay. So, at the beginning of the match, I'll run through all of the strats for the peasants, but essentially, based on your position, will be what you want to consider doing.
Yeah. Oh, we'll go through that and we'll cast another one, Prey.
Exactly.
Let's kick this one off. Tom, are you in game again?
I might.
Yes, you are.
Jump out with you guys this time around, I reckon.
No worries.
It's going to be interesting to see if we've got a 60 plus bonus and 60 peasants. So I wonder if that's kind of like a good correlation. Keep the bonus around the amount of players that there are in the game. We are starting as soon as we can. What are we waiting for?
You heard it here first, folks. We're gonna have an 8v8 King of the Hill match, and the Kings are gonna get a +8 bonus, according to that logic.
There are a lot of mixes around the outside of this map. Depending what the no rush is, might go all right.
Yeah, I actually reckon it'd be a struggle for the peasants if they try and grab all the mexes. The time it will take and the eco that they'll do to get that running will be a problem. And defending all those entrances will be rough, whereas the Kings will still run reasonably similarly.
Ben Code, I recognise that name from some of the comments of Tom's Road to 25. Thanks for all those comments, by the way. He's saying, disagree with the Peasant Rush T1. He tried with 15 incisors and it didn't do a thing. 15 probably won't. If you stop building eco at around the 6-minute mark, you can get out somewhere between 40 and 60 incisors. I've had 60 come against me when a very skilled player used them actually and destroyed me as a king. But yeah, if multiple players do that, Ben?
If everyone got out 15 incisors, then it becomes hundreds, and that gets really difficult to deal with. We've seen that before where the entire peasants massed incisors and crushed the Kings.
Yeah.
in a single push.
And when we say entire,
And
we
I
mean
think-
about half. Like literally only half, and it was just a whitewash to the point where the moderators had to throw a few units into the game because the game was going to finish at about the 12-minute mark when the no rush starts at 10.
I think one of the things to bear in mind about that, let's say that like your 15 tank attack didn't work, but if there had been 15 tanks sent down every ramp, 12 of them would have been stopped. Like 12 of the ramps would have been stopped, but 4 of them would have run straight into the base. And it's all it takes. It only takes one that needs to get into the base. So it's more about the game lives and dies based on looking at it as a whole. If the kings are forced on the defensive in any meaningful way, the peasants have an advantage. If the peasants are forced on the defensive in any meaningful way, then the kings have a bit of an advantage. And yes, I don't think 15 tanks is going to be quite enough to push a defended lane. In fact, it's not going to be enough to push a defended lane. But if the kings are putting enough money into all 16 lanes to defend them against 15 tanks, then they're not putting them into units, they're not putting them into scaling. And if you keep the pressure on and you siege and you keep pushing them back, they're going to have to keep building units to defend, they're going to have to keep building defenses to defend. And defending 16 points as the kings is an untenable situation. You lose. You just do. I don't think we've seen a single game where if 12 or more lanes are pushed, that the kings have any chance whatsoever. Statistically, though, it is we could see one where that does happen if they happen to push the 12 defended lanes. But it's at that point it's a bit of a luck game there. But if you push all 16, the kings are going to have a bad time.
Yeah.
Yeah, there is basically always I know I've often got one that's defended and one that's hopefully they don't hit this lane. Hopefully have enough units ready. So if you hit both of them, there's a very high likelihood that one of them has units panicking to get in the way before you hit the eco.
We got
Some people
problems
do
in
it
this
better
one.
than me, but
They don't seem to want to start. This is where we need you in game, Tom, to call the 4-start vote. Maybe somebody listening in, feel free to type the exclamation mark 4-start. We might come up with a vote and we can get things going.
There we go. Couple of comms that have spawned in the middle. Arcalord and Smile have missed their calling as ghosts, so they'll soon become.
I mean,
so
there's just so many rules in this game, all 3 of them, and they managed to fail one of them already.
I would have thought the lava would be a pretty decent.
It's a visual aid. It's like putting a human-sized band-aid on like a finger scratch. You can see it. You know it's there. How are we going?
are we ready to do the unpause?
I do not know what is happening.
I don't think we have a moderator here anymore. Is that the case? No. Okay.
Can someone from the
What we will do, we'll have to just kick the if they engage, we'll just have to kick them out of the game.
Yep.
So can somebody just double hit that pause and resume?
Battle started.
Yeah, okay, so we're gonna have to kick Kato and
Just looking for Smile.
Battle
Yeah,
paused.
I've got him.
there was plenty of time people to select a spot, sorry.
It's pause at the moment, isn't it? It looks like he's being kicked.
Cool.
So he should be ready to take when we rejoin.
Alright, let's get these
Once it
started
unpauses.
again.
Battle started.
He's no longer in the lobby. There we go.
There we go, Fish House Mike. Thank
Thanks,
you very
Mike.
much.
Yep. Shadow, you also need to there we go.
Thanks, guys. Unfortunately, yeah, even if it's a misclick, apologies, but we just need to keep these games going. All right, Prey, let's try and start this one off again.
Hello and welcome everyone to an interesting match, King of the Hill, where we have had an interesting start with some comms being in the middle and no moderator to deal with it, but that is solved now. Now let's have a quick run over of what King of the Hill is. So for those of you that are new to this, King of the Hill is the mode where we put a handful of very skilled kings into the middle of the map, and then we put a lot of peasants around the outside of the map. In this case, it is 9 versus 58, and the kings have a plus 60% bonus. They also have a nice little metal donation in the middle of about 2,500 metal, thanks to those 2 comms that are in there. That does happen occasionally. Big things about this game mode: 10-minute no rush. The lava does disappear thanks to chronographer at 10 minutes. And then it is open season. If you're playing in the king's position, the sort of thing that you want to get up running is at least 1 fusion, probably 2 fusions or an APHIS, as well as a T2 lab and some units, as well as getting all mexes up to that T2 point. If you're around the outside, what you're going to want to do is highly dependent of where you are. If you jump into one of these corners, try to get as many players to help you out. You only need to get up to 1 T2 lab to distribute to everyone, and then go hard into each commie corners, and they're one of the win conditions that the peasants need. If these corners don't pop off hard enough, then you're going to be having a bad time. Best way to do that is to share all of the metal you possibly can to 1 player and distribute and help them with the energy to get that T2 lab out. We do see T2 labs sub 2 minutes sometimes, which is absolutely crazy. But that is what gets the job done. If you don't have the corners in that sort of position, it's going to be a very hard time. But if you can hold out, regardless whether you're ecoing, you can give plenty of space. It can give plenty of space to the rest of the players to to the rest of the players to work their way around. If you're in front of one of the lanes, highly recommend either going into a heavy unit or a heavy defense focus. You do not want the kings coming up the lane, but putting pressure on the kings is even better. If you're on one of the wings in between the lanes, then I would highly recommend a unit focus, maybe adding a little bit to the defenses. Get those units in. If you do your build order right, you can easily get 50 incisors into the map by that 10-minute mark and running down the king's throats. 16 lanes with units coming at the kings puts the kings on the back foot. Then if you're in one of these middle positions, whether it's the middle, bottom, right, left, or top, you guys have it the hardest. You don't have an eco corner backing you up. You are essentially going to be trying your hardest to survive. These are the break points that the kings need in order to get out of the map. So putting strong defensive focus players here or strong offensive focus players here is a good time.
Yeah, you're up against about 6 players in those edges rather than about 10 in the corners. And yeah, when that eco person comes online in the corner, it really becomes hard to defend as a king against that. We were asked, what are the best tactics as a peasant? So you've kind of just touched on that, ecoing in the corner and building units up around on the edges. But how many and at what point, Prey?
Okay, so if you are directly in front of those ramps, absolutely spam your eco for the first 5 minutes of the game. Get yourself as many wind turbines, converters, and all that you can, and hope that your eco corner gives you a T2. If they give you a T2, you're going to be having a good time. If they don't give you a T2, then probably not as good of a time, but still plenty of metal to go on. Spend the next 2 minutes or so getting yourself the balance of build power and finishing off anything that you to get plenty of ability to build, and then spend 3 minutes producing incisors or so. That should net you somewhere between 40 and 50 incisors. I've done it times myself. Run those ones down into the enemy base at the 10-minute mark and see what damage you can do. You don't have to gun for your king. If your king is defended but you can run around the defenses, do that. No, the defenses do not need to be killed. It's the mexes, it's the conversion, it's the power, and it's the build power. They're the big ones that need to be killed. Doesn't matter whether it's your lane or another lane. If you're putting pressure on a king, then that king is not eco scaling. That king is not getting on the offensive. If you're in one of the positions between the ramps, similar sort of thing. Spend 5 minutes ecoing as hard as you possibly can, and then look at what the players on either side of you are doing. If they're moving to a defensive focus, then go a unit focus. If they're moving to a unit focus, go a unit focus and help them. 100 tanks is better than 50 tanks.
So build units.
And look, I'm not saying completely neglect the defenses. A couple of twin guards, a couple of beamers, really good idea to help out. But really try to balance it out to a nice bit of offensive and a nice bit of defensive.
You know what their best defensive unit is for those early rushes? Such a small choke point. 2 commanders in that choke point and covering that whole lane. So
and that is a really big thing to touch upon. There will be a couple of ramps that the Kings attack that do with T2 units. If you have invisible comms sitting on those ramps, you can nullify any spending that they've put into T2 unless they are very, very good with their units. And it's very hard to have both spam and T2 at the 10-minute mark. Trust me, I try a lot and I fail a lot. The other really important...
The first few waves are just going to be sacrificial. If you see a comm explode, good job. There's not another comm there the next time you go.
Another really important one.
Before you go on, I'm going to point out something's happening in this game. Don't point it out to the stream because I want to see if it pays off.
I haven't noticed it, so we'll see when we get there. But this is something which I'm sorry to use an example, Neodork. But if you look at Neodork in the bottom right-hand side of the map, it's 7 minutes, and they've already invested in 3 Dragon's Claws, a bunch of walls, and LLTs. If you invest this early into those units, then you're not spending that money somewhere else that could be of benefit. So, for example, this T2 lab would be well and truly finished, and the advanced constructor would be out, and a mechs would be underway if you hadn't spent. And so the defenses are just too early.
Yeah.
I'm not saying the defenses are bad. I'm just saying that you have to be very careful with your time. If you spend metal on something that isn't doing anything for a long time, then you've spent money that you needed to spend later.
Ideally, you finish the last defense at the 10-minute mark before the units rock up, and then you know you've done it about right.
Ideally, you don't quite finish the last defense at 10 minutes, and you really scramble.
I was going to say that. As long as it finishes before the units arrive, you've got the travel time to get it up as well.
Yeah.
When it's the side that you haven't quite finished and you see all the units coming, you go, oh, help.
As long as it's entertaining, that's all that matters.
Mm-hmm. I have gotten into the habit of putting a couple of LLTs near the base to catch the couple of leaks, because 1 or 2 units can absolutely destroy your economy, and having something like an LLT or a flame turret is well and truly worth the investment to stop that tick or 2 from blowing up your entire economy at 10.5 minutes.
Something else to consider if you are on the peasant team, getting a radar and a radar jammer at the top of each ramp is ludicrously good, because it means the Kings do not know what you're going to do. I always ensure, regardless if I'm king or if I'm peasant, I use those radar jammers to obscure where my units are, so that they do not know which ramp I'm going to attack down. It is, I would say that it is almost more important to have one of those only 40 tanks than to have the 50 to 60 tanks.
Yeah.
Knowing where to throw them so that you can get through and deal the damage is just as important as having them there ready to go.
Now we've got 20 seconds left, and on the map we have 800 units between the Kings and the peasants.
This is different. All right, touching base on what I was looking at, there has been some coordination going on, and it's looking like one of these lanes or 2 of these lanes is going to be absolutely packed with multiple units. I think we have wind of that because the strongest defenses are in these areas, and there goes the lava and so many units coming down. We have marauders.
When they come down this hard, down 4 ramps, you're not going to stop everything.
Yeah,
And this is where the
great.
radar jammers would have been quite good, because I do think that the Kings
Yeah, you
did see
could.
some of this ahead of time.
You
I
could,
do love to see
unfortunately.
those move
But-
commands into the middle.
Is
But
great.
as is being said in chat by P, don't stop, just go.
Yep.
And spread out, which is correct. This is plenty of units to absolutely destroy in the Kings. And this has been a very
way is a worthy sacrifice.
very well done. And this is where having units instead of defenses is really important for the Kings, because right now only 3 ramps worth of stuff was here to defend, plus
Wow.
whatever came out of the middle. The reality is that you needed all of the Kings to be sending their units up at this stage, but they didn't have them. And now we're seeing the cost of that. Also on the bottom hand side, the Pink King, unfortunately, no defenses, so they're getting overrun by the T1 as well.
Wow, this is a good showing. This might be a record. I think it was about the 12-minute mark where we once saw a victory out of the peasants on a rush like this. We haven't seen it where everyone just focused down. I think that was 3 or 4 ramps.
I did love to see the entire top
The coordination.
half coordinating down those top 4 ramps.
Hey, whoever rallied that made it happen. Good on
That was
you.
great. That was absolutely excellent. But look here. So the red player is just getting units up, and they're getting Jaguars. These Jaguars will actually slow this push down significantly. Yes, it's somewhat spread out, but this can be this is a very stoppable push. It's just that the Kings, this is the first time we've seen anything like this out of the peasants, and so they weren't prepared for it. All the money that's been spent on defenses. So for example, Kokaido has 13 beamers, 6 pit bulls, and what looks to be 12 build turrets at the front. Had those been units that could be moved, the top of the top might have been spared, or at least more spared than it currently was. This has been absolutely destructive out of the peasants. So really good job on coordinating this one.
Yeah, those are welders. You can see how well the welders are doing out of Total Savage. Anything that pretty much chains and does that AoE, you want to build those units to take out the T1. Even just actually, you know what would have really done well with some SARs or some Fat Boys. The splash damage.
Yep, a single Tsar firing into that mix. Fat Boys not so much, because you'd have to run the Fat Boys away, but a Tsar which can fire while it's retreating, absolutely ludicrously good at defending something like that. Each shot would have taken out 20 to 30 units.
Yeah, looks like Kokaido here is being overwhelmed. Just too many units coming here, and I love that the peasants have not stopped.
Yep.
And let's just say, even if the Kings manage to defend this, which I don't think they're going to, there are still those commie ecos happening in the corner. They're not going to see the light of day in terms of units out on the field by the looks of things, but
it's the right call though, because one of the things to bear in mind on an attack like this, I mean, this one is too devastating. There won't be any recovering from this, but on an attack like this that does get stopped, one of the things that happens is you donate to the Kings 20 to 30,000 metal with that bonus is 50% more. You're talking about kickstarting their economy and getting all the players that you do destroy back into it. So you have to push hard enough, and this is exactly what we've seen happen here.
Very nicely done. 2 commanders left. Where are they? We got Witcher on the south, and we've got Total Savage doing quite well actually. His lane actually, he or she, I'm guessing a he. Most people that play games are boys.
The lane's held, but hasn't been pushed as hard either.
Looks more like what your typical King's lane would look like at the 15-minute mark. So really nice tactic, and this has been an absolute whitewash for the Kings. T1 wins it.
It is interesting how when it comes up that if everyone gets units, you'll go really well, and then we get a game like this where it is just a complete and utter destruction.
Yeah,
yes, we did
units,
have a comment in.
I think that's the most.
We did have a comment in chat after the last game that said that the T1 offense from the peasants doesn't work. So we were very, very happy that the peasants proved this to be a viable strategy.
It is the meta for the peasants, but just to get everyone to do it every week in King of the Hill is very rare. which surprises me because there are so many familiar faces in this game. Having said that, if it became the meta, I'm sure the Kings would get a new meta where there was more defenses, and then you'd be absolutely stuffed if you didn't manage to win on that first push. Because
I also think that there is a social element to King of the Hill. A lot of the players are here to play King of the Hill in a more sort of grindy way. They want to build up to that T3. They want the game to be somewhat even, because we get the same players we get a lot of the same players week out, and there is a lot of pushing to that between sort of 30 to 40 minute game time. So I reckon that is definitely an element. Let's just have a quick look at the damage dealt graph in comparison to the previous game. We mentioned that by that 13-minute mark, you want to see a lot of peasants doing a decent amount of damage. And what is this? We look at that 13-minute mark, and we have so many peasants in the high damage mark. Very nicely done.
All of those blue graphs were going up is basically the story of that game.
And then if you look at the metal produced graph, we're absolutely destroying it for the metal and metal produced out of the Kings. However, if you look at one particular player after that 10-minute mark going for all of that reclaim in the peasants team, that's one way to really fund that attack. So no eco kings out of this. No peasants that matched eco value for the Kings, but they went into those units and made it not matter overall. So really good job out of the peasants for that one.
All right, let's see what happens in the next one, which will probably be the last one for the night for us, I'm guessing.
I think so. Oh, I'm not in the lobby. Did it crash or no? It didn't crash. I just somehow left the lobby.
Do we want to look at maybe giving a bunch of those guys another chance? We had, I think it was Matt, potentially DC'd on that top side, which definitely didn't help them. What do we got? Or do we want to look at rotating people out?
I mean, if people are jumping down there, we've got to give everyone an opportunity.
Yes, we can't, boss.
We got Matt and Ora and Headless who haven't had a go down there yet, so we can rotate them out. Happy for you to pick and choose who goes and who doesn't. We will change which teams are able to do Cortex and Armada. Have you already changed them? I see Legion for Kings.
I think I've seen Chrono's been adjusting some of them as we go.
Yeah. We're Armada for the Kings this time.
How many players have we got? Yeah, that should be fun.
Kings were just... Sorry, Peasants were just Cortex, weren't they? Let's put them Legion again. Legion versus Arm. I don't think we've had Legion versus Arm with the Arm being in the middle. 65 bonus this game for the Kings. We do adjust it based on number of players in the game and who won the last game.
Start moving some people back down.
Got a comment out of Uzi from Twitch saying that if the Marauders had been Jaguars, it would have looked quite different. I agree, they could have done quite a lot, but I reckon if they were Welders or Razorbacks, I think that attack could have still been successful, but probably only destroying 2 Kings or thereabouts if those were being pumped out. You got to remember that there are only so many units and they can only spread so wide, whereas the attacking units could absolutely jump much deeper.
We've got the option for another 3 kings to jump in down there that we haven't rotated out for this one.
But if no one does jump down, then then the kings that want to stay will be left there.
Okay, so I've just got a message that made a good point with we've been doing faction wars. Legion has won against everything tonight, so what we're going to do is make the King's Legion again, but we're going to open up the peasants to be either Armada or Cortex.
Also worth noting that there are 80 peasants this time round, so even more chonk to fight through.
Why does that not work for me? Apologies, it's not letting me select just the.
Also, apologies for the mic issues I've been having. My equipment has dropped voltage a tiny bit. I'm getting a inline booster to try and make up the difference, but that's one of the reasons that my mic has dropped a little bit.
Seems to be when you're maybe a
wants
little bit louder, that's when it's dropping a tad.
Yeah, it's trying to adjust with automatic gain, but that's not working very well. If anyone does professional audio gear and wants to give me an incredibly good deal on incredibly expensive audio equipment, let me know. That will certainly fix it. I've been eyeing off I believe it's a CQ12, which is a massively overkill setup for a single person. But when I tend to do things in the audio space, I tend to overdo them.
Okay, I'm going to check IDs, and I think we're pretty much good to go.
Before you do, I'm going to just post the rules again.
Is 65 going to be enough for this one, or? Yeah, they should be alright. Looking at who's in there.
3 rules, everyone. Peasants start on the outside. Kings in the middle. There's no rush time for 10 minutes. And the structures that you build, you can only use them defensively. So towers just defend onslaughts of units. Don't go building them offensively. Don't go and Juno the opposition's bases. We are 11 subs away from 2,000 on the YouTubes.
Hey, nice.
I think that means we've had 12 new subs during the stream. Thank you very much to anyone that subbed. And
have you called those out, Twig? Might be worth having a look to see who has subbed.
Can you tell on YouTube? I know you can on Twitch.
Oh, no, it's not. It doesn't have the feed like Twitch does it?
No, it doesn't. It's a bit annoying.
As actually, I've missed one on the Twitch side. Oratab, thank you for the subscription for your Prime subscription. We do really appreciate that one. According to Twitch, we're 25% of our way to our sub goal. So we currently have 5 active subs, and if we get to 20, then I do believe we can apply for the next level of partnership. So thanks to everyone who does that one, and a big thanks to everyone who is following as well. We're up to 153 followers on the Twitch side of things, which is huge considering that we were down in the 20s to 30s for a very long time. Axolotl is asking whether or not you can place the gauntlets. So when you place the gauntlets, make sure you place them. So if you're looking at the bottom of the screen, Twig, make sure you place them so that the range doesn't really exceed this sort of line. So the kings have space to build the mechs and also to build some defenses in front of it. So you can definitely have them. Just try to be conservative with that range. Surprisingly, they're actually really effective when they range about here. And if you build them back here, because they'll hit with almost every single shot, and they'll only target units that are coming up the ramp as compared to trying to target things that are moving around out here. I've seen quite a few very good defensive ones over time.
A few questions in game. We have turned air off, we've turned LRPCs off, we've turned nukes off, all the stuff that's just way too easy to wipe the map with. very focused economies in here, so you can expect at about the 20-minute mark you get some a nice bombing run over the Kings. It's going to chain react the entire eco.
Yeah, and you can't really get enough anti-air far enough out to stop the bombs being dropped. And it only takes a couple for everything to go pop.
Though I do kind of wish we could put nukes on. I wish that there was a setting where we could just have global anti-nukes so people could build them and not realize that they were never going to work, just so that we get all the pretty explosions in the sky.
Okay, finally we've had all the peasants move out. The 50 odd people could just ready up, that would be amazing, but more likely we're going to have to get a forced start.
Looks like everyone's pretty much good to go.
There's just one little red dot in the peasants team, so I dare say we're going to have someone spawn in the middle. We'll need someone to hit the take and control D that, which gives the Kings an extra 1200 metal at the start of the game, which I'm sure they'll be very appreciative of.
Oh yeah, they are not in the game at all, are they?
Here's the forced start.
Hello and welcome everyone to King of the Hill. You're joining us today on Raptor Crater, where we have 9 versus 80, one of the larger scale games that you're going to see for the time being. With 80 players around the outside, the Kings are going to have a real time cut out for them, but we do have the skill in the middle that we need. We have a couple of returning players in there, Aeon Spy and Kukado. Very, very strong. Kukado held out against insane odds for a very long time last game, and Aeon Spy, also an incredibly strong king that we've seen many, many times doing this. Shadow in the Sky as well, very strong up here. And we've also got Ortab and Punji that we've seen quite a lot through the time in the Kings. So very strong middle, and they're going to need it for that 80 players. Now, what is going on here for those of you that are new to this? King of the Hill. We give these players in the middle a nice bonus, 10 minutes to do as they please, and then the lava drops thanks to our friend Chronographer for making the map just the way that it is. And then around the outside we have 80 peasants that's job is to crush the Kings. The winner will be the last team standing. Now, if you are a peasant, how do you win this one? Considering that you've got the numbers advantage, you have to play this one smart. Treat the whole map like it is like you're one big team, because you are. In these corners, help these players build up as much eco as you possibly can. They need to be responsible for handing out T2 to everybody. So if you work together, you can get sub T2 labs out for the peasants, and getting those T2 builders out to everyone is going to make a big difference. However, build too many labs in these corners, don't work together, and you're going to be in trouble. And it does look like the bottom right hand corner is going to be in trouble this time round. We're seeing a lot of independent builds happening over there. If you're directly in front of one of the ramps, your job is to either be on the offensive or on the defensive. If you're going to be on the offensive, then you want to help from the players on these two wings here. If you're in any of these positions, my recommendation: build nothing but eco for 5 minutes, eat your lab, do whatever it takes, then get yourself set up for a massive unit or defense push in the last few minutes. Money spent on defenses before the 7-minute mark is money that hasn't been shoved into your eco to generate more over time. And usually anything that you pay into your eco before that 7-minute mark is going to be repaid to you by the 10-minute mark. So balance that one out, choose good locations for your build power so that it can be multi-purpose, and do your best to either defend or get on the offensive. Also, please try not to build your defenses too close to the front to stop the Kings from doing what they need to do. Now, if you are a king, when you're in the middle, we reckon with Legion, the best thing to do is to grab your two closest extractors using just the basic one, but then as you move out into that middling area, try to use the overcharged mexes. That is a lot of extra metal that you're going to be getting by doing that, and you definitely have the energy to run it with that plus 60% bonus. If you look at Sheena over here, they already have 600 energy income, and it is way more than they need to run those metal extractors, and the metal over time is going to be absolutely insane. The 250 cost instead of the 50 cost, that 200 metal will be repaid in around about 30 seconds. So do that. Then get into your T2 as quickly as possible. You're going to want at least one fusion by the 10-minute mark with T2 units to boot. A lot of players with this plus 65 have been getting 2 to 3 fusions in that 10 minutes, and that is where the balance comes in. Now, joining me in the casting booth, who I haven't let get a single word in edgewise, is Twig and Tank Tom, who are going to be helping me cast this one. Twig and Tank Tom, what have I missed?
Probably nothing. You've got it all out. You've spat it all out. We've got nothing to say. No.
I know with the Kings, what you're aiming for is basically get 1,000 energy, give or take, at T1, and then pump into the T2 economy as hard as you possibly can. Because 1,000 energy is enough to build your T2, like your fusions and your APHIS if you're feeling spicy. Although that is a very big gamble, because whenever I've done it, it's always been touch and go as to whether you finish it and have time for units, or whether you're finishing it at 10 minutes and going, please don't push me, please don't push me, please don't push me. If you survive to 11 minutes, you're set.
Yeah.
If they push you at 10 minutes, you're just done.
Well, what we saw last game was 800 units on the field at the 10-minute mark. It was insane. We saw probably the fastest or second fastest game of King of the Hill we've ever had, where just 4 lanes pushed every unit that the peasants had, almost every unit. And yeah, it was a whitewash. The Kings didn't stand much of a chance. Now, there is one thing that we didn't touch on last game that people listening to this stream might like to know, that a great way to prevent those hordes coming through and absolutely decimating you without much cost is mines. If you throw down some medium mines, not the light mines, but the medium mines, they will pop just about all the T1s with just one mine.
And it does
forget about the mines.
Also, the other things that work really well are what works well against spam in games. Not spam, sorry.
Yes.
Large volume units. So your Zars, your Fat Boys. And in this case, if you're looking at Legion, I do believe that it's the napalm that's going to be the big shifter for this one. All of those units having to deal with a lot of napalm is going to be a problem. And it does look like after the
ground firing at each of those ramps, so the spam has to run through them, there's not going to be much that has a whole lot of health left once they've made it through that breach.
The other thing that's quite important is that everybody has units, so that where the units start to breach, you can then help your other king friends. So if there are only static defenses and only people going into eco, then the kings are going to be overwhelmed, because one player will have to fight 20 or 30 players worth of units. Whereas if you spread the load between 3 kings, it's quite manageable, not to mention it gives a really nice reclaim field. And it does look like we're having a very similar thing happen again in this one. We've got units already building up at the 6-minute mark in at the bottom right-hand side of the map. We've got already 325 units in the bottom right-hand side of the map, so the peasants have found a strategy they like, and they're running for it again. So we'll see if Shadow in the Sky can be backed up by Sheena and Aeon Spy to try and defend this one.
I'm going to touch on a bit of the eco. Going to pick on one player, Neck, in the middle here. Did not build one of the mexes, went into a bunch of towers and has a queue to go back to the mex afterwards. Tank Tom and Prey touched on earlier in the night. Building your defenses is something that should happen right in the nick of that 10-minute top mark. Like if that tower goes up at 10 minutes and 1 second, perfect timing. But yeah, building them this early and then getting onto the mexes later, that's hundreds if not thousands of metal that you've been denied, because they are 3.1 metal per second each. If you put an overcharged on that, that is going to be well over 1,000 metal lost. Probably it's 8-minute mark now.
You've got enough time to build the T1 mexes, I tend to give them a little bit of wind to fill in the time whilst the T2 constructor's getting built and on its way out. And then after your T2 mexes are up, you've still got enough time at that point to get enough defenses up to hold off some minor T1 pushes. If it's something like last game where you've got hundreds of units coming down, doesn't matter how much you put into your defenses, they're going to bust through it no matter what. And that's where you need your units ready and waiting to be able to fight through those.
One
Something
T2
which is
constructor
also
out of this player meant that they've only been able to upgrade these one at a time and had to go into another lab to even be able to build another T2 lab probably to get another constructor to then build conversion after this fusion came up quite quickly. That's exactly what they're doing.
One of the things that is highly important for the Kings is very early on in the game, we're talking sub 5 minutes, make sure you have a radar that can see around, that can see up into the enemy areas, because even if you can't see the staging grounds, like we do see these Castros hiding some of the units, you can still see the units streaming between ramps from other people's radars, and so then the Kings would know that this is coming. Scouting information is critically important.
This is going to be a quick one again, I reckon. There's no mines going down. There's no T2 units. We need... What is the best T2 Legion unit for this? What has a bit of an AoE?
See, this is where I'm too unfamiliar with Legion for this one. I do believe that there are tanks that can do this quite well. The flame tanks will do a good job here, but I don't think that there's much out of the bots that can do much to stop this. Maybe the Phalanx riot bots with their pounder-like attack, but even then, it's going to be quite a struggle because there's nothing quite like a Tsar.
Yeah, just looking at the player view for Shadow in the Sky, he can't see anything. That means that we have seen a bunch of JMers go up, and there goes the lava, and here goes the Horde. This is going to be nasty.
Yes, there are only four. There's only 4 defenses in front of this lane. 4 pop-up defense in front of this lane to try and stop the Horde. And this is where
the issue is that the defenses don't cover everything. With this many units, some of them are just going to walk on around.
Wow.
Doing a good amount of damage though. These pop-up chimeras did a ludicrous amount of damage. But this is units into the base, and not enough here to stop them as of yet. The player in the middle of the map has not... they're getting an experimental gantry off of 2 fusions.
Hey, Kato's actually fallen on the north. We missed that because we've been looking down south. There have been enough units to get through. Oh, wow. We're going to repeat of last game. Is it going to be even faster?
Showing from the peasants to get those units up.
Hey, and you know what?
For anyone who's wondering how to win, mass units, throw them through.
Yeah, but you know what didn't happen again? The Kings didn't build units.
They didn't have radars, they didn't have information, they didn't have units. So what do you expect?
Yeah. Remember, just like we play in PvP, get your T2 units and then just strafe them away from the armies coming towards you. Do damage over time. Walk backwards away from the armies. The response
is significantly better though. Only 1 King has fallen in completeness. And another one's had a lot of damage done, but most of the units have now been cleaned up. But yes, this is not a good spot for the Kings. This is they're going to have to invest, and this is where the middle eco player is critical. If this player does not have, a couple of APHIS up at this point, considering that they have access to all of that metal, they didn't need to build units, they didn't need to build defenses. They can't then switch on with the right type of unit to deal with this. If you're a Cortex, it's Fiends. If you're Armada, it's Jaguars. If you're whatever this faction is, the Legion, then it's Javelins.
Javelins though T3.
And they're rollers.
Oh, sorry, not Javelins. The T2 version of a Javelin.
Yeah, I know the one you're talking about.
But no one has T2 labs to look at them.
Hoplites.
Sorry, Legion units very new. But here we go. Kings have stabilized. They've closed off most of this gap. There is one area that's still being invaded, but we do have Pink helping out Kokado. And all that's needed here...
If the Kings can hold off that initial push, they've got a lot of access to metal fields that can be reclaimed.
Here we go.
And they get that moment to catch their breath.
First King's push, and I don't see any commanders directly in the path. All those javelins that were used to defend now being used offensively. This could really do some damage. It'd be fantastic to see a comeback. That would just be absolutely epic.
And this is the benefit as the king. If they've gone heavy into units on the peasant side, they probably don't have the economies to back up a second massive push in the near future. So as long as you can hold the first one, and ideally have enough set up so that you're not going to continue leaking through like's happening a bit at the moment, it means that you can then start pushing out, crashing up some of those lanes and picking people off one at a time.
You just have to be careful with how you go about doing it, because if you walk your expensive units into comms, you're going to be in big trouble. So make sure to keep those nice and spread, and if you can, get some spam up helping. But we are still seeing nice floods of units coming in from the top part of the map. We even have a comm that's starting to move in, getting the reclaim, getting the defenses. These players really need to be working on closing those gaps and getting out there. Really good job out of Aeon Spy, who is now absolutely dominating the peasants in the bottom right-hand side, but that'll only matter if they can keep everything closed on the right and in the top left being the critical side right now. And we also need to be seeing a lot of reclaim coming through, which the blue team seems to have some reclaim down here, which is what you cannot possibly allow. If the blue team gets this reclaim, then they'll have enough to do this all over again.
Yeah, even rezzing. There's a couple of T3s that can be rezzed out there.
That is the risk. So some really good chaos in this one, and it does look like there is enough of a push coming from that top left-hand side. It's now spam backed up by the T2. As long as that T2 doesn't walk too far forward, it will be able to keep chipping away at the players up here, and the Kings will start falling further and further behind. Right now, they are at around about a 500 metal deficit when reclaim isn't taken into account. So this one
hanging by a thread is where they're currently at.
Yes.
More damage done out of hoplites on the right, and we have javelins pushing up right behind them. I really like what's happened there, where spot's been identified as weak, and the middle player Aeon has managed to go and assist in doing extra damage, taking out now 2 commanders and plenty of eco. So 2 spots now where the peasants are slightly weakened, but they are still hitting very hard on the south.
This is one of those
some gremlins on the left getting into that base and popping a whole bunch of that build power.
Nicely done. And we do have units that are making their way into the center. Considering how open this is, I'm surprised that the player in the middle hasn't built a couple of defenses of their own, just to try and prevent some sort of run-by like this, because with gates open, a run-by like this is very possible, and all it takes is one converter to be popped, though thankfully this one survives with 13% HP, and it does look like those build turrets are not going to go down. But close right there. Something which I would love to see is this strategy used against a king team with someone like Duffy or Cookie Destroyer in the middle, where they can react to it, as compared to this one where we're seeing a reaction now, but it wasn't during that initial push. The eco just wasn't there for it yet.
Yeah, when that middle player's got a standing army ready to go and can throw it at whichever lane starts falling the hardest in that initial push, it makes a huge difference.
These snipers are pushing, sorry to butt in, Tom, on the top now, and they see this APHIS. Have they actually seen it? Overview.
Ortab, that comm needs to be invisible. Nope. No, it was not. So my biggest piece of advice, if you're in a situation where lanes are pushing as a king, even if you're not a threatened king, just set your comm to invisible. It burns 50 energy when it's standing still, 500 when you're moving.
I think it's 300 and 1,000 actually.
Is it 300? It's when it's standing still.
Yeah, and 1,000 when it's moving.
I thought it was less than that. There you go.
Regardless, as a king, it's a cost that you can afford to.
It's a cost you can bear.
Yeah.
That explains why my energy expenditure was so high in the game I played earlier when I was walking my king into the middle. Yeah. That makes way more sense. But yes, in a position like this, the Kings are in trouble. They did manage to do a nice counter-offensive. However, the units that need to come from the other players to help defend the top just have not been there. So we've lost ground for Punji, we've lost ground for Kokaido, and we've lost two of the kings. And that is a very rough position. So really good job on the offensive though for the peasants. They're showing off that the kings do need to start looking at how to better defend this, and I think that there's definitely an element of Legion of not knowing the correct unit compositions for Legion. For example, we now know that those Chimera turrets, the pop-up Chimera turrets, are ludicrously powerful. 700 metal though, so you'd expect them to be. Sorry, 750 metal, so you'd expect them to be. If you're put in this position, Twig, how do you try and react to this as a king?
So, assuming I haven't built mines, which I usually don't, if I can see, I know this for future now, if I can ever see patches where my radar won't pick anything up, it means that they're probably building up there like we saw this game. Look, my reaction is just purely into units, and your base might fall, but if you still have an army there, armies can move and armies can continue to defend even if your eco falls. So I'd be getting out as many units as I can when I see myself getting rushed. You might put down 1 or 2 flame turrets, or anything that has a big area effect against spam. But yeah, units is what I'm thinking. And it's the likes of the welders and the jaguars, the fiends. If you have T3 demons, razorbacks.
Oh man, a demon would clean up most of that.
Oh yeah.
That's what I like to see out of this middle player, is going into that T3 by the 10-minute mark and being able to react to that themselves. Getting out 1 demon would do so much damage.
And ideally that player in the middle, once they've got a couple of fusions, they're into the APHIS. If someone does get hit, they can throw them a fusion reactor and a couple of converters and they're back in the up and running, ready to go, rather than them having to rebuild their eco. If you can just kickstart them so all they need is to build power and they're set, it means that side can get up and running and hold significantly quicker than if you leave them to it.
One of the other things to bear in mind, the Juno is a critically important unit in this situation. So if you look at what a lot of these compositions are, they are radar jammers, they are radars, they are ticks that are defending a handful of units. So for example, there are 5 starlights that are pushing in and completely destroying Nekuda. And those units have been doing that for several minutes. And the thing which has allowed them to do that has been ticks, radars, and radar jammers. If you can take those away, which is what a Juno does, those units become significantly less effective, and as a king you can pump out the units you need to overwhelm a handful of starlights.
And that is why we do leave the Juno active, because you do read in the rules that offensive structures are not allowed, but we allow them defensively, so you are allowed to still use those, for those who are wondering.
Yep. As a rule of thumb, if you are a peasant, Juno outside of the crater. If you are a king, Juno inside of the crater. That's the rule of thumb for this map.
I'm loving the welders being used out of Scandemic to just reclaim all the metal being lost here on Baby Punji's front line.
The Weber is a unit that I always do not use effectively, but when I see other people, I question myself as to how I fail to use them effectively, because they are so good.
Yeah, not only do they reclaim, but they stun, so they can be used as right up on the front line to get effectiveness out of the back line. There looks to be just too many units coming in on the north, and at the same time, really nicely done out of AE on really scaling up that eco whilst defending against so much. I really need to take a leaf out of this person's book, because my Twig's base looks like a game of pick-up sticks at the start of the game.
Yeah.
Also, look how ludicrously effective these bastions are. That right now the bastions are mostly killing spam, but when they get anywhere near a group of spam, they're killing most of it. But they're also perfectly capable of destroying much larger units. They are a ludicrously good defense. 3,000 metal though, so not cheap.
I do like having a couple of bastions up to deal with, or just to buy yourself some time when something does rock up. They can largely deal with the spam, or when something beefy arrives, it buys you that 10-20 seconds where often when you run into a bastion, you go, oh, maybe not. And that's long enough that you can probably get some units up to try and help deal with it, even if your units are
Single,
spammed to surround it instead.
single catapult really harassing Aeon's north there. Those bastions don't quite outrange it. The bastion at a range of 1100 compared to the catapults 1350, and they also get a few overshots out of those rockets as well, so they're going to be able to slowly ping apart, and you might see some build power go down there. Well, not quite.
Just jumping back to the cost of an invisible commander, it is 100 energy, not 300, when it is standing still. So
I wonder if that's a Legion thing. I swear I've seen 300 before. Legion's also...
Legion's weird.
Yeah,
Yeah,
maybe
so
I'm
that's
completely
Legion.
wrong. Drop a...
This one.
Oh, there you go. We do have a comment from earlier. It's 100 and 1,000. So I was right about the energy.
But you were right about the moving one, which I was not.
That's the important one.
And here we go. We have T3 Marauders crashing into the King's base in the bottom left right now. They've managed to finally break through and destroy a fusion. Now we're down to one King and 3 half Kings left. So effectively two Kings worth at the moment, and this is going to start being a defensive war on many fronts.
Considering the way this one started, like, they're doing alright.
The Kings are doing incredibly well considering how much damage they took, and this is something to really bear in mind if you're watching this one and thinking, like, how can you win as a King? Well, look at what's happening. It is not impossible to win this one as a King. It just the Kings just haven't had time to get ready. They haven't looked at this strat and thought about how to defend against it. And when they do, we're going to start seeing that attack be ineffective against the Kings, and all of this just being a donation to them, and then the peasants are going to have to come up with something new to try and deal with this one. I stand by the fact that if strategies were seen in the middle before, where the king in the middle had a whole bunch of I believe they were butlers, and used them to create fiends in order to defend when they were needed. I think if a strategy like that was used where the player in the middle could be highly reactive, and if the players on each side of which ramps get attacked are capable of throwing their units into the mix, I think you'll see a very, very different game, and then the peasants will be on the back foot without having ecoed quite as hard.
Unfortunately, we just had a rule break, then I saw a Juno hit the King's base. Like it's the last game of the night.
Don't think it would have mattered because the Juno did not stop whatever destroyed all of the...
The Juno basically just hit the APHIS, but it's the other units that are shelling in that are gonna...
Yeah, it was the catapults that popped the build power, so I don't think that one's a big deal. And we're not actually seeing any spam that would be affected by a Juno out of Aeon Spy. So
yeah, those APHIS really on low health. If we can just get one catapult, we're all waiting for it. The Mals are just out of the range. All those hoplites just keeping them back. And,
I mean, look at the Soul Invictus go defending it. It's just like, nah, I don't want you here.
Bastions really do well. Didn't realise. Backdoor entry over here. Are we going to see anything?
Couple of ticks are in there, and the tick is a problem, but also any fire that comes in to try and deal with the ticks will also be a very big problem.
I have moved away from having anything defensive that fires projectiles, because if you get a tick that sits next to your eco and then you fire a projectile at it, you can kill your own stuff just as easily as they can. So beam weapons like a bastion, fantastic.
I'd just like to point out,
but scary.
I'd just like to point out that at the state of the game that we're in right now, when the Kings absolutely rolled the peasants, they were at a 7,000 metal income by the 25-minute mark. The peasants are at a 6,000 metal income by the 25-minute mark. So it can both sides can actually do that if they're left with plenty of players on the offensive. And in this case, I think a lot of that is coming from consistent reclaim, but we also have a ludicrous amount of windmills around the map, a ludicrous amount of conversion. Not so much APHIS as we normally see, but we do see some pretty strong eco corners as well here and there. So really, really well played out of the peasants for this one. And hopefully we'll see a couple of the kings, such as Duffy or Emir or someone along those lines, coming up with a strategy on how to deal with this, even if it's not your lane that gets attacked. And then we'll see a return to the meta. We'll see a change to the meta yet again. And that is the last com dead out of the peasants. Really good job. Oh, sorry, out of the kings. Really good job out of the kings defending this one. Aeon Spy, your defense was absolutely out of this world.
A well-deserved golden cow out of you. Okay, damage dealt. You can see it there. King's actually doing really well. Completely different to the graph we saw last game, which had also a very similar early push, but still a lot of peasant damage early on. You can see a lot of blue down there on the bottom of the graph, not sitting on the very bottom of the table there. And just a quick look over at the metal produced. Good showing out of all the kings. A couple of peasants really echoing in those coming corners. Good scaling out of a lot of blue players as well. And the real winner of this was the constant aggression out of the T1 units and some of the T2s.
Nicely played, everyone, and a big thanks to everyone who did join us tonight. And I'm sure when a video of this goes live, there'll be a lot of discussion on how to best deal with it. I'm seeing in chat right now that it is that the riot cannons, the cacophonies, the cluster artilleries, all very, very powerful at dealing with the T1 spam. So hopefully we'll see some changes there and some players getting right into it. Does look like that is the end of the lobby. And that's good timing because that is the end from us. Really big thank you to the moderators that joined us tonight. We had a lot of help from Nightmare with locking, unlocking, unit deletion, and all that stuff. We could not do it without him. Big thanks to everyone that played as a king and as a peasant. We can't do it without both sets of you guys. Big thanks to everyone who joined us in chat. We appreciate the commentary that you guys give. It gives us stuff to talk about, to look at, and things to talk about in game. And massive thanks to all of the regulars that join us on this one. You guys are a big reason as to why we do this one. So massive thanks. I think we've had record viewership on our Twitch of 31 concurrent viewers for King of the Hill. So that's absolutely fantastic. Thanks to everyone there. I've been Pradith, and I'm going to hand you off to Twig and Tank Tom before we end this one. Potentially raid someone. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll get a raid going on the Twitch. Any last words, Tom?
I think it was great to see the T1 aggression, largely prompted by someone going, I tried and it didn't quite work. And then the peasants basically went, let's make this work together, guys. And it's something that there hasn't necessarily been a solid answer for ever. But and it just goes to show the team that's the more aggressive at that 10-minute mark will more often than not win the game. Whoever can get on that front foot and get that aggression going, open up those lines of attack, makes a huge difference to how the game then plays out. And it's going to be terrifying as it changes to try and work out how we stop it. And then once it does get stopped, what the next thing is going to be, because I'm sure there's going to be something else that comes along after that.
All right, who to raid? I can see a guy that's dressed as a superhero in a stream, so that's tempting, but he's playing against the Barb, so I don't think people are going to be too interested in that.
I'm seeing VDB is streaming.
All right, let's do that.
All righty. Oh, we're going to chuck the raid off. Thanks, everyone, for joining us, and we will catch you next time. Like, subscribe, join the Discord, all that good stuff. Catch you next time.
Thanks, everyone, for watching.
Beyond All Reason fans, welcome to King of the Hill by AllReasonNoLogic. Experience 2 or more teams facing off in epic scale warfare, where the Horde gang up on the Kings of the Hill. Kings start off with an economic bonus. They do their best to defend an onslaught after a no-rush timer expires. Test out your micro and defend against multiple players in variations of this game mode. Will be part of the masses. Team up with your allies to topple the throne in a glorious victory. AllReasonNoLogic, hosting King of the Hill lobbies, most Sundays. Join our Discord to be part of the action. See you in game, Commanders. Beyond All Reason fans, welcome to King of the Hill by AllReasonNoLogic. Experience 2 or more teams facing off in epic scale warfare, where the Horde gang up on the Kings of the Hill. Kings start off with an economic bonus. They do their best to defend an onslaught after a no-rush timer expires. Test out your micro and defend against multiple players in variations of this game mode. Will be part of the masses. Team up with your allies to topple the throne in a glorious victory. AllReasonNoLogic, hosting King of the Hill lobbies, most Sundays. Join our Discord to be part of the action. See you in game, Commanders. Beyond All Reason fans, welcome to King of the Hill by AllReasonNoLogic. Experience 2 or more teams facing off in epic scale warfare, where the Horde gang up on the Kings of the Hill.